So that's fine. All right, we are on the proper screen. So let me make sure everyone's fine. I think everyone's sizing is better now. In theory. And I have redone a few of I did a few different things because I have now switched over to OBS Studios rather than Streamlabs. So if things start being weird, that's why. I also adjusted the filters on my mic. So on stream, if I sound different, that's why. Hopefully I'm not too loud, let me know. Okay, intro. Hello and welcome, dear patrons, to the Tables of Tartarus, a chapter of Purgatory Corner. I am your storyteller, Sinspeaks, and today we shall be continuing the tale of Tyrant's Wrath. Come on in, take a seat, and let your imagination run free. As always, we're here with Storyestry as Ania. If you guys want to check her out, that's her Twitch over there. Also, Cyril, Gelmar, Dakota, Root, and Sapphire. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Insanity.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Does anyone want to do the recap, or shall we have Ania do the wonderful recap she usually does?
I'm not the de facto person.
You're really
Ania's
fucking
the
good at
note-taker, that's the problem. She takes all the notes.
She's very good.
I have the worst memory. I remember feeling, though. I remember feelings and emotions.
Once more with feeling.
Okay. So last time, everyone was deciding to stay at the bandits' camp, and we all woke up from sleep. Gelmar did not sleep much because Gelmar was very affected from the mirror we encountered a couple episodes ago. So Gelmar decided to try and work off his stress by training. I believe Rue and Dakota found him and tried to convince him to go back to bed. But before they could do that, everyone went down to get something to eat, and we had a very fun encounter with the bandit's chef, who is a very angry dwarf. We all convinced him somehow to make pastries, so we had a breakfast apparently mostly of sweets, and also a soup that did not go well for Rue, but luckily she had no lasting effects. Half of the party, Gelmar and Rue decided to sleep in. Rue did not sleep, she just looked over Gelmar, who is experiencing some strange effects when he tries to sleep, such as very bad nightmares. This is implied to be a semi-regular occurrence if things are really highly stressed. Dakota decided to slink around the bandit camp trying to find out more stuff. They sort of mapped out the camp, found out where armories are, potential weapons, potential items, and the rest of the party went to go talk to Roderick once more, where we laid out a plan of action for helping the nearby town with its kidnapping problem. We also talked to Cade, I believe, who led us to the bandit camp in the first place. In doing so, the three, Ania, Cyril, and Sapphire, found out a bit more about the kidnappings, and that there might be more going on than just simple kidnappings, including potential conjuration magic, such as a giant ritual involving the entire town that could very well put it at risk very soon. And I believe we left off with the three returning to the room, and I assume Dakota as well. And that is where we left off.
Cool.
Nice.
Yep, so you all arrive back into the room. I assume it's only been a couple of hours at this point. So I would assume Gelmar is still sleeping. Rue is doing a obscene quantity of guidance and all that other fun stuff around the room. So as you guys walk in, it's pretty much like a hellfire of healing and holy magic and stuff like that.
That bit of the room is quite warm.
What's going on?
This item around his neck, it seems to be hurting him, I think. You want to take a look? I'm not sure what to make of it.
Neil. Oh, Siri got some background noise going on.
Cyril?
Nia will walk over and how is Gelmar's state?
Probably been a couple of hours, so he's probably not doing too bad. It seems like this has been a very consistent hold on just a moment. It seems like this has been very consistent for the last couple of hours from what you can tell. I don't think Dragonborns sweat. Don't imagine they would since they're reptiles. But he's doing the visual quality of it. Like he's clearly not super rested in his sleep. The aid seems to be giving him peace of mind, if nothing else, but it doesn't seem to be affecting the physical aspects of it too much. Aside from that, it looks like somebody who is having either a consistent nightmare, like, you know, a person who's had nightmares for years, the way they would look at that, or they just look like he just looks really, I suppose, exhausted would be the best word to use.
Should I be using perception or arcane?
That is a good question.
Arcana.
Reasonably speaking, you could get something off of either.
Yeah, I'd roll whichever one is higher, depending on what you're looking for.
So, Rue pointed out the neck, the choker.
Mhm.
Is it a choker?
Shackles.
Technically speaking, it just looks like a strap from his
Strap.
chest piece to hold the collar up.
Okay.
At least that's what it's always seen.
I would have. Rue would have known it was coming from that when she was guiding, right?
I mean, you would have at the very least had indication. It was glowing very heavily, off and on during the process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I take a look at it to determine if there's any sort of magical something or other that I might recognize?
That would be, if you want it to be whether or not you recognize it, I would probably say roll history.
Could also potentially he'd do
Is
a
my
language one based on which one she understands, but chances are don't think anyone else will understand this one. I'll be real.
What was that, Neil?
Is my detect magic still on?
That's a good question. How long does it last?
I believe
30
it normally
minutes, I
lasts-
believe.
It would still be on, yes.
Okay. It would tell me the School of Magic and a faint aura around any object in the area that bears magic, and you learn in School of Magic.
In that case, hey Ania, this one's just for you. So it almost looks as if something around his neck, his wrists, and his ankles is literally eating all of the magic from his form and all around him. From the vague traces you can catch from the tops of the head and the center of the chest, however, you actually catch transmutation magic from a spell probably cast a little over a year ago.
Okay. As you hear me intensely typing in the background, I don't know if you could hear my keyboard going off.
Am I familiar with that sort of thing at all? So roll history.
Yeah, roll history.
Come on, Dakota. You've had experience with a lot of stuff. Oh, we've had experience with some stuff at least.
You are familiar.
Can I give Dakota advantage on that history check?
Oh.
Like
This
we're
is
talking
based
about-
on
like we're talking
Dakota's backstory, like their kind of actual history.
Gotcha.
So unfortunately, I will not. But I will say with that 16, you have not had experience specifically with kind of this exact thing, but you have had something similar. You know constraints fairly well. But more importantly, you know the different types of magical restraints which are typically used. You don't know exactly what these do or why they're put on Gelmar specifically. And unless Ania says anything about it, you don't know the school of magic there are in either. But I will say you do know magical restraints are very common for prisoners, especially elven prisoners. Not elvens, but like the prisoners of elves usually are put, magical restraints are usually put on them, and different forms of them are used. Some of them are for very vicious creatures. They'll put restraints on them, which essentially weaken them constantly. And then other restraints are used to contain their prisoners, kind of similar to a hold person spell or something like that. There are also a few other spells which essentially weaken the body physically, making them like actively more exhausted constantly or just not able to be at their full potential or something of that sort. You do have a lot of experience with those restraints, as well as restraints which trap people's physical forms because they've been used on you before. Ones that force your body to be of a certain way, either physically speaking or forcing them to be appearance-wise, you are very used to. These look similar to it. Not exactly the same. These are a lot less well crafted. These are very shoddy compared to what you're used to. It's like the difference between a rusty iron shackle and something Gelmar would make. Like you know what Gelmar would make. You know the pristine, the fine tune, the etchings of the glorious makings of a blacksmith. This looks like someone's very bad replica of one of those.
And I would like to roll Arcana.
Absolutely.
Whoever put that on him clearly didn't have Gelmar's craftsmanship.
And then what are you looking for specifically?
For me, I'm just looking at like all the information I learned from Detect Magic and trying to figure out something else using that.
Okay. I would say with a 10, given based on the fact that it's eating the magic around him, as well as magic coming off of him, you are fairly confident it is in some way, shape, or form weakening him, and probably has been the entire time you have been journeying with him.
This is weird.
Is he okay?
Have you tried to wake him up?
Oh, I guess I wanted him to keep sleeping. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Oh, we should go wake him up. Oh, okay. I'm gonna move him a little bit.
Nudge.
Is that a roll I need to make, or?
Are you just nudging him, or?
Yeah, I started off kind of gentle.
How deep
Nudge,
of a
nudge.
sleep are you in, Gelmar?
I mean, assumedly, if he's deep enough to be having dreams, probably REM sleep, so pretty deep.
Okay. So yeah, as you just kind of gently nudge him, it's like nudging a solid cinder block. It's not doing much.
Ania resists the urge to smack him.
Oh, well.
No, she resists the urge. She does not.
Well, she does, but that's literally what my small brain was gonna do. I put the guiding on my hand and then I slap him on the chest a little bit.
Like,
I
wake
mean,
up, you son of
I
a
should warn
bitch.
you in advance. He is still wearing his chest piece. He actually does regularly sleep in that, and you do know this.
Ping.
Oh,
I'm sure you want to keep doing that.
She's okay. She's used to hurting herself a little bit.
That's fair.
It's okay.
You slam your hand into his chest frame, and you do hear the resounding da-dong from your hand hitting it. A lot stronger than most people would be expecting, but I mean, you're intending to hit metal, so. But the noise does ring out, and it pretty much just doesn't really go through to him, as I hope chest plates would prevent. But he does hear the sound quite resoundly in his head, so he does very groggily start awakening.
I mean, even if he doesn't, it's still a whole rattle of chainmail, so yeah, you probably hear it.
I have readied Dispel Magic.
Ooh. Okay.
Sid, I'm going to let you decide the DC on that one.
Yeah. Ania's not going to try it yet, but she's going to be like,
I have dispel magic ready today.
And she'll like be looking at the collar,
Mhm.
the strap, and she'll be like,
But if he hasn't been able to remove it, I'm not so sure I would be able to.
And Gelmar, you
Or
were
if it's
slowly
even
waking
safe
up to her
to.
saying this, and everyone just staring at you.
What if we ask Roderick for quite the favor?
Gilman just slowly opening his eyes, sees that everyone else is around, is just like, what did I do last night?
Good
He
evening.
says, slowly rolling over, trying to get up.
Oh, I think you were just sleeping. Good morning.
It's not
sir.
morning, it's evening.
Oh,
Any time is
Oops.
morning if you believe hard enough.
No, it's not.
Did something happen?
What if you're nocturnal?
He says, eyes still mostly closed.
A few things, but right now we're mostly focused on you.
Hmm.
Well, that's probably one of the most unnerving responses I've heard all day. Or
You just
I
woke
suppose
up.
at this point, he said, as muttering under his breath. Still, probably he half asleep at the moment.
You were having
Shackles.
nightmares.
The shackles on you were hurting you, I think.
I'm sorry, what?
These things. And she pokes the strap on
prisoner's
his
collar.
neck and then his arms. This thing.
And that snaps him awake. She's like, and how much long did you know about these? He says through clenched, clearly nervous teeth.
I saw him 5 minutes ago.
Hey.
Sarah leans
I
in
think
really
I saw
close.
them.
We've known about them the whole time.
Fucking asshole.
I'm gonna actually incite that comment from Cyril specifically.
Absolutely, go for it.
I mean, it wouldn't be out of character for Cyril to somehow have known the entire time that they were there.
Cyril, deception, I believe.
He's not really trying to deceive.
Oh, in that
it's
case, you
pretty
can
clear
tell
that he's
easily through. I would say it's entertaining, except it's probably not.
He looks even more nervous for a moment before realizing the gaze you can see behind the helmet. It's like, this is not the time to be messing around in that way.
Sorry.
But
I
it looked like
have
you
a.
weren't.
Go ahead.
Oh. You can go ahead.
No, I'm not saying anything really important, to be honest.
Well, I forgot what I was going to say.
No, you have
oh,
to
so in
remember it.
character. So in character.
I love the idea two of them were just like, how do you wait, hold on, wait, yeah, how you no, hold on, yeah, oh yeah, no.
I insist.
No.
I vaguely heard you starting to start some sort of comment that sounded like you were talking about their effects on him or something.
Oh yeah. So she says, they weren't really letting you sleep. It seems like they're not good for you. Do you need help?
Not letting me sleep. Well, that's a new one from these. He said, as grabbing onto it and looking down at it. Well, I suppose now that you know, he says, slowly removing his leather glove to reveal a similar one on his wrist.
Oh,
There's
there's more.
5 in total.
How
So
long
far,
have they?
Hmm?
How long have they been on, sir?
about as long as I left the Iron Spires.
You know how to. Well, I guess you wouldn't know how to take them off, huh?
Been trying countless times. Yet no matter what tool I use or how much strength I use, it doesn't even seem that they are left with a scratch. The only individual I've ever shown these to almost died trying to get them off.
Would
What
you
did
like me
they
to
try
try?
to do?
Seemed to just be magical. I believe above game. I believe it was the goblin just tried to use magical force of some variety and just tried to pull it off. Above game.
Hmm.
Seemed to go more. How should I say this? Tried to merge magic and might together at the same time. Seemed to have more than enough to try and consume both. Told me Isha wouldn't be surprised if these things could even restrain the gods if they had tried.
Oh. Makes sense that
Mm.
when I was trying to do, or I guess to use some type of guidance, it didn't really work.
I can promise you whatever it was I was going through with that night, or in my rest. I would be shocked to find out that these were actually actively causing a problem.
No,
In
no.
that regard, anyway.
They weren't
Would you
causing
like
a problem,
me?
just a problem for you.
I guess I could have phrased that better. I don't think that these are making my sleep any worse. But that's my problem, and I'm not certain there's much any of you could do to fix it. In that regard, at the moment.
Well, I can try.
Are you skilled in removing memories?
She'll pause and tilt her head from one side to the other. Is like,
Do you have to remove the memory to get them off?
He tilts his head confused. I think we're looking at the problem from different angles. I don't think the restraints are related to my poor sleep.
Oh, well, I mean, I could try to remove your restraints for you.
He just holds it out and just says, I'll give you the shot, but be warned, I'm not exactly expecting much, and to that end, please be careful. Again, as I said, the strongest magical entity I've ever seen nearly died trying to remove these.
she'll pause and look at it, and then look at the party, see if anyone wants to like stop her or encourage her.
You're pretty smart, Ania. I trust you. I'll make sure to protect us from any harm.
Believe me, if you have an idea, I am more than happy to hear it. I'm trying to get these off for about a year now. He says, looking back at it.
Well, have you ever had someone just try to dispel it?
Come to think of it, no, but I still suspect whoever put the. I still suspect the folks who put these on are not exactly going to make it that easy.
Hmm.
But if you'd
Well,
like to take
maybe
your
it'll.
shot, by all means.
And Anil will lower her staff, and I assume Gelmar has one of his wrists outstretched.
Specifically, the one with the. I was about to call it bracelet, but that's not technically the right term. It'd be more accurate to say singular manacle.
All right, so she will try to cast Dispel Magic.
Okay.
Hasten, I'm leaving this one up to you.
Yep.
So it says any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each spell of 4th level or higher, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, the spell ends.
Feel free to roll.
Okay, so I make a.
I will say it won't automatically dispel it, but it will have different effects depending on what you roll.
Okay. 10 plus the spell's level. So I make ability check using my spellcasting ability, which
It's,
is
+8.
+8. I'm just trying to find out Is there a quick thing I can do to roll for that?
Not really. I think you can just do the d20 and then +8 on the bottom right of the screen.
Roll 1d20 plus 8.
Yeah.
I think I just typed that out. Let me see if that works.
Yep. You can also
Alright,
click the
yeah.
I think if you
d20
yeah, I was
button
gonna
on
say,
the
I think
dice
if you click
calculator.
the dice underneath the chat box there, it'll just automatically insert the syntax for a d20, and then you just need to add your modifier to that.
Very nice.
Oh dang!
So
Sure.
you use your magic, and as you do so, it's a different feeling than you used to. How have you used dispel magic before?
Not often.
Okay.
Definitely not during the campaign, and I don't think Anya would have many places to use it in her past, even
Mhm.
when she was training.
Okay. So you've seen it used before many times. Obviously, you know, being it's not a very common druid spell, but is something your mother used to use every now and again for various reasons. It's a very helpful spell when trying to make sure that whatever it is that you're interacting with isn't super dangerous. So you learned kind of the essence of how the ability works. You kind of learned how it should function. And so you're using your staff, and you can feel the magic aura of dispel magic kind of coming out of the staff and moving over to the manacle of sorts. And when it touches it, you can see it's the manacle thing starts to eat your spell. Is the most strange experience that you can recall, because it not only starts to eat the spell, it starts to eat into your staff as well. You can tell that the dispel magic is sort of kind of working. It's fighting with it, essentially. And the two of them are the manacle and your spell are essentially twisting around each other, trying to attack each other like two giant wolves, essentially, is the best way you can do it in your head. The longer it starts to go on, you notice that it starts to eat past your dispel magic, and it's now going into your staff. And so your dispel magic is trying to turn it off and is trying to eat your staff. You can choose to turn off your spell if you would like, or you can keep trying to get your staff to turn it off.
I'm going to pull back.
Okay.
I don't have a replacement, and this is a heirloom. Thank you.
Very fair.
Yeah,
As you
fair.
pull back and you kind of start turning off your spell, you notice the proverbial wolf of his manacle
Manacle is how I've always
pulls
heard it defined.
back, and as you try to turn off your spell and such, it eats all of the energy that your spell had as you turn it off. And it essentially is like you're watching the two wolves, you pull backwards, and your wolf, it disappears. It just gets eviscerated on the spot the moment it was given an opportunity. And the manacle just kind of goes back to its strange semi-dormant state.
I almost want to meet the person who made these.
Um,
Would love to give them a piece of my mind.
that's not too bad. It's just tricky.
Ania will say, looking at it,
It eats magic, so when you try to dispel it, it tries to eat the magic that's dispelling it. So it just needs something to counter that.
Well, mine's out of the question. At least none that I've been able to pull off has done even so much as scratch this. Says,
Where is
proceeding
it?
to pull on it again.
But where is it putting the magic?
So far as I'm aware, it's using it to maintain its active spells.
Then can it just be... Oh no, it's eating off your latent magic, so it can't just be starved. Unless you use your magic elsewhere for maybe a few days or something. I don't know how much of a store it has.
Believe me, I'm yet to find out myself. I'm not 100% certain trying to find that answer is likely to be the best decision either.
Do you think that's two casts of dispel magic would be able to win it over, or is something else at work?
It's possible.
Well, I recognize the attempt, and while I do strongly believe Ania's comment that it is potentially possible, he says, looking up at her seriously, you are still trying to use food to kill a starved wolf.
Is this a
Well,
good point?
everything is food if you look at it hard enough.
I don't
Orin
even know
gets
if I want to
quiet.
answer that.
And Ania's cheerful.
What if we feign death for him, and then maybe he uses up all of his magic, so it has nothing to eat?
That's a necromancy spell.
What? It's just putting him like that.
You will be unhappy about the idea.
For whatever reason, I just checked my spell list to see if Dakota had feigned death, even though I knew he didn't have it. Just like, maybe.
Ania does. She knows it's necromancy.
Oh, gosh.
When'd you learn feign death?
From Druid.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just
To be
a
fair,
druid
technically,
spell.
Druid. Yeah, I was gonna say Druid's a prepared caster. They just automatically know every spell they are physically capable of casting with this max level of slots that they have. They just have to take the time to prepare each one individually at dawn.
You'd be surprised how many necromancy spells druids have.
Yep. I've looked.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Circle of Spores Druid is a pretty good example of this.
I love circle spores.
Well, I'm glad we were
What
able
if-
to help up a little bit.
What if we found somebody that could block the magic? Sort of create a space where magic can't happen.
An anti-magic field, you mean?
Yes.
I'm more than happy to try it, but I'm not 100% certain what's going to happen.
Part of me
Well-
wonders if Roderick would be powerful enough to do something about these.
Roderick might ask for something in return, though. I doubt he'd do that
Have
sort of
the manacles
thing for free.
himself.
I'm not 100% certain I would trust him with these manacles.
Well, if we do him the favor of fixing the kidnapping problem, he may just do it as a payment.
He may also just simply say, we're already paid by the guild, and then just move on to his next agenda.
Nah, he wouldn't. He's too honorable for that.
She says,
He
I'm the
asked
bandit
for a
king.
name from us so that he could pay us. My memory may not be as solid as it once was, but I do remember him saying he wanted a name so he knew who he was paying.
This is correct.
Well, as for the moment, you've had these for a while, so why was it disturbing your sleep just now?
Again, I don't think it was. They seem to respond to stress, he says in a frustrated tone.
Oh, do you want to have a chat? I'll probably stay up to look at the stars. We could have a talk.
He's just staring, still trying to debate, but also still kind of tired.
It's always nice to be with
But I'm
friends.
not really certain what. Maybe, but I'm not 100% certain what we would even be talking about.
Or you could duel Alexandria.
I was planning to do that on the way to the town. Seemed a decent thing to do during the above game. It was going to take more than a day, right, to get there?
Yeah.
Even if we take a caravan. Oh yeah, because we're taking Alexandria's caravan.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed a good time to at least do some sort of spar or of a battle midway along the road. Warm us both up.
Galar, you said this was a memory thing,
In a manner of
correct?
speaking, yes.
Well, if you remember, we do know someone who is quite adept at removing memories.
Oh yeah,
That's
the nice shopkeeper.
A big part of me wants to erase the one from the mirror.
I think the ones disturbing your sleep may be more pressing.
What makes you say that? He says, laying back.
You are more pale than your scales usually are.
Is that how that works?
He looks down at his wrist, trying to verify this. Still
And
very tired and lazily.
Ania gives Dakota a slight bap with her staff for being dumb.
I wouldn't know.
Yes, you
Because
would.
I don't look at my. Because I don't look at my own face very often.
Fair.
And she'll drop it.
I love the idea that Rue and Galmar don't even notice. Oh. I would say you do you at least to yourself. You look about normal as you always do, Galmar.
Looks normal to me, he says, throwing his arm in front of the sunlight to see the reflection just to verify it before dropping his arm back down. Presumably also slowly putting the glove back on so nobody in the hallway sees it.
Yep. Probably about 8 o'clock or so, so the sun's almost setting. It's kind of dipping a little bit.
Well, beyond all of this, we have come to a bit of a consensus with Roderick as to what is happening now and what our next steps might be. And I take out the map with all of Cade's wonderful little holes in it and carefully lay it out so it doesn't rip into pieces.
When did that get so many holes? Did y'all get in a scrap or something?
Cade failed to have a pen.
Ah.
Excuse me while I roll an intelligence check.
Huh?
Excuse me while I roll an intelligence check.
Private intelligence.
Why does he need a pen?
What does this have to do? Oh my god!
What are the two? How are the two connected? He's this is like glove to his face, tilted upwards, staring out at the open sky.
Oh, you're right. I can't imagine why.
If you look closely at this map, these aren't random. There's a shape, and it started. He puts his finger right in the center where the head of the snake is, here. And it's gone in this big spiral, and the tail isn't quite finished.
Each of these marks is where someone was kidnapped.
Ania helpfully tells the two.
Dakota thinks this is just like Book 6 of Dakota Ryder.
I'm sorry, book 6 of what?
He's like thinking that.
It wasn't said
Fair.
out loud. It was just Dakota's
Yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah, he's like looking at
Okay,
it and like
okay.
he's looking at the map and like nodding. It's just like, yes, I see.
But why? How does the significance of a pattern like this? Why focus on this particular set of locations? He says, staring at it.
Well, we believe it may have more to do with summoning something. That these are sacrifices
Oh goodness.
meant to fill a
Anil,
quota.
Anil will step in and she'll point to the map and said,
So each one of these marks correlates to someone who was kidnapped where they were taken from. And here, and she'll point to the straight line where the scales were found, are where the scales were found that Cade showed us, and they were not left at kidnapping victim locations. They were left in this straight line, and the scales are magic. We think they may be trying to do a massive sigil using the entire town.
Gelmar's eyes widen at this comment. In that case, there's no telling what he could be planning here. Marduk. This is going to be a long weekend. And he says, Ari's standing up. Or finally standing up again.
Did you already hand that scale off to Roderick, or we still have it?
We still have it. And she'll take out the scale and offer it.
I'm gonna look at the scale. Does my oh my god, what was it called? My Whiff of the Beyond. Do I notice anything magic of any specific type from it?
That is a good question. Let me look at you.
Technically, Whiff of the Beyond doesn't necessarily work like this, but I feel like I've been using it like this for a while, and it feels like this is an understandable stretch of how this works.
So, you automatically know when aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead creature has been in a space within 30 feet of you within the past 24 hours. For this...
Technically speaking, we've used it to detect this kind of magic on a few occasions, and I feel like that's how this should work.
As you look at it, you would say it has... you can't tell what the school is, because obviously that's detect magic, which in theory you have.
I don't think so.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Ania and Rue.
Yeah.
But you don't know the school of it, but you do know the type of creature it came from. It came from an aberration, I believe is the term. Hold on, let me double check. I might be thinking monstrosity. Aberration.
Remind me what that is.
On aberration 5e. Let me just double check that my wording is correct. Alien entities with bizarre anatomy and strange abilities, they're frequently connected to the far realm, including aberrats, mind flayers, and beholders. No, that is not what I'm thinking of.
I was about to say, that is not something we've talked. Did you bring aliens into this city?
I know, right?
Although
All the aliens.
would be
Hey, I was like,
great for
dang.
Gelmar's problem right now.
Just like distant UFOs already drifting past.
So I would say is connected to the Fae. This has Fae magic in it.
Oh, I guess a different type of thing in Whiff of the Beyond. That's yeah. But I guess aberration means alien type. But all right, okay.
Yeah.
This is Fae. This is Fae magic.
Really?
How can you tell?
It's a gift of my patron. I can
Generous man.
detect magic. The magic effectively footprints of creatures, so I can tell what kind of creature the scale comes from. Well, not technically what kind of creature, but what sort of magic they have. This is Fae magic. I don't know what kind of Fae a scale is like. Fey conjuration, huh? I don't know much
Pulls
about
his
the schools.
map and kind of pushes it over towards Dakota a little bit. Is there anything else about this symbol, maybe?
I mean, I
Could
can.
your patron perhaps help you?
I mean, we don't talk often, but I'm gonna look at the map for a bit, see if I can tell anything.
Roll me either a perception check or history.
I'll roll history because that's a 2 versus my perception, which is a 0. History.
enough.
Come on, Dakota, you got this. Give me the good stuff.
Oh,
Give it. Yeah, that's
19,
the good
alright.
stuff. All right.
Yeah.
So as you're looking at this, story real quick. What did I say about this sigil so far?
Okay, let me go up. Let me see. Let me find it where
So
I
I'm
wrote
not
it
repeating
down.
myself.
So it said some patterns, main pattern that you're seeing, it's kind of in a spiral, a weird spiral. It's not in a chronological pattern.
Mhm.
Let's see. Excuse me, my dog is scratching at the door.
You're
A
fine.
couple weeks back, near the edge of town, near the end of the spiral, are the only places that haven't been filled in.
Mhm.
Like a snake being stabbed all the way through.
Yeah, that was Cyril's stuff that Cyril thought it might look like a snake. Ania thought it looked like a spiral, which is the same thing.
Cool.
Mhm. I feel like I said something about the specific rune it was, but I don't quite recall.
Oh,
Oh, you talking about the months?
No, the sigil, the snake being stabbed looked like a rune to, I think, one of you guys.
I think it looked like a rune to Roderick.
That might be it.
I mean, if worst comes to worst, I could probably have Gilmar look at it as well. He's not exactly strong with Arcana, but he is used to working with runestones and sigils, so who knows?
That is true.
Oh, that's cool.
I think, if I recall correctly, he had said that it was a which school was the portal school of magic?
Conjuration.
Conjuration. I
Well,
think he said it was a
yeah, it was
conjuration
summoning.
rune. Yeah, for
Oh, yep.
summoning and stuff. So as you're looking at this rune, Dakota, and you're trying to like kind of figure out, you don't know a whole lot about conjuration runes. You don't know a whole lot about runes in general. You don't really use them all that much. What you do know is in the past you have read stories, not Dakota Rider stories, but a couple of stories where people have done full towns used as like circles for teleportation and other things like that. What's up, Neo?
The marker for Yonti's suicidal sacrification is what Roderick said.
Ah, that's it, yeah. So you would know that sometimes in fiction, people have used entire towns as runescapes in order to do like teleportation, to do mass summoning. I think the coolest one would be basically a whole town used its houses. They built the houses in order to create a giant frost rune. And it froze like the entire area around them. Essentially perpetual winter.
They
All
were all
fiction.
like really short with like one really tall dude that wears like red and white and has 8 reindeer.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Next year, guys. Baz, that's what you would know.
In my experience, I have seen people attempt to create runes utilizing architecture. So to me, that's kind of what this looks like. I'd have to ask my patron if that's necessary in order to figure out if there's anything more about this, but to me this looks like some kind of conjuration rune, as the mist said. Possibly
Since
Fae.
good.
If the scale is possibly some sort of Fae type, if the scale is related.
Since I know the scale is Fey, can I do a history or arcana check?
What are you trying to find exactly?
What Fey creature I know has a scale like that?
Sure.
Which one?
Go with if you're trying to figure out which creature it has, I would go with nature.
Nature. Okay.
Bam.
Ooh.
19 is not bad. Okay. Let's see. There are not a whole lot of fey creatures with scales on them specifically. It's kind of a rarity to find scaled creatures. I believe, let me just look through a couple of these real quick, see if any speak out to me. Yeah, I don't think you would know of a single fey creature that would necessarily have scales on them, which is odd to you that this scale would have fey magic on it. So most likely to you, instead of it being from a fey creature, it is essentially a fey creature, a fey magic got infused into a creature that isn't fey. Most likely a snake.
Okay. Most likely a snake.
You want to come out and they have like butterfly wings?
And he'll be looking at the scales like,
Pretty.
I know quite a few fey creatures, but I can't think of any would have scales like that.
Interesting.
Sapphire, do you know anything?
Mm.
I can't say I do.
Hmm.
Or if I do, I can't remember.
And we're both pretty good about fey knowledge.
Yeah.
Actually, roll me a go with a history check, Sapphire. You're missing most of your memories, but we'll see if you have a memory that's still with you at the moment.
All right, Josh. All right, Hudson. I just went ahead and wrote up a
17,
basic
nice.
description of all different schools of magic in the VC chat here.
Very nice. That will be very useful. I'll pin that actually, because we keep coming back to it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So
17.
with a 17, I would say you definitely don't remember any Fae that do have scales, because there's really none of them. But one thing that does kind of tinge at the back of your memory, something that just kind of comes up to you, is you do know there are some cases where if Fae magic itself, because it's so chaotic, can infect creatures like a virus of sorts. It's one of the reasons why they're contained to their own area. You also know that the Shadowfell do the exact same thing, but usually to a darker extent, but they both count as Fae.
I can call you something worse.
Okay.
oh no, who was that?
Holy crap!
Oh,
Where did that come from?
Oh no.
Not fun.
That's so funny.
Oh no.
That timing.
Oh gosh.
Oh, it's fucking fantastic. God damn.
Someone took up a challenge. Damn.
Sapphire is just scolding her husband.
All right.
Oh my God.
So Annie will chime in like,
Well, in any case, we did talk to Roderick more about this, and he said that we can take a caravan to carriage. We can take a carriage over to the town with Alexandria because it's her carriage. And she will take us to the town so we can investigate.
I think of no better time to test the two of our skills together.
Hmm. Hopefully, we can maybe find the people that are missing. I don't know
Well, whether we can or can't, we're going to need to be at the top of our game.
Hmm.
though. Right.
I do think, and she'll tap the scale again. I assume Dakota's still holding it.
Mm-hmm.
That plan from earlier, we could use detect on this to see if there are any others in town. Since they're in a straight line, we don't have to even cover the full town. We can just follow where they usually show up at and try to sense if there's any more.
Seems probably a better idea than most, honestly.
Worth a shot.
I also
Saph-
want to investigate. Good.
Sapphire, do you relay the Shadowfell and the Feywild to the group?
Yes.
Okay, so all the information.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah.
Does the Shadowfell register as Fae?
It does.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. It could be. I don't know about the Shadowfell as much.
Slowly
my magic
turns to Dakota.
differentiate? Yeah, I was wondering, it's like, does my magic differentiate between the things at all? I mean, technically, I've been in the Shadowfell
Mm-hmm.
more often, technically.
They all register as Fae. It's one of the reasons why they have such a war going on, is because they're basically both grouped up into the same area, which pisses off everyone involved. Because all the good
Shadowfell
shit is bad and all the bad shit is good, and no one knows the difference.
Yeah, cause like, shit, the freaking scale doesn't have any freaking tentacles. How can I tell? Yeah. Unfortunately, my little gift can't differentiate between the Shadowfell and the Feywild. All I can tell is that this thing has Fey magic on it, some way or other.
Does that change our approach for study?
Not particularly, I don't think.
No, I don't believe it does.
Is there anything we need to prepare before we leave? I assume we're going to be leaving tomorrow.
How much time do we have before the next? What was it? It was at the full moon that these things keep happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Around it. It can be before or after. If it is after, that means they're not going to be taking one very soon. So they could completely skip it.
Mhm.
But we have to see the list, which we'll be getting, I think, tomorrow, and that as soon as posted, to tell if there has been one after the moon.
So we should wait till we get that list, I think, right?
But we're going to be getting it tomorrow.
Right. Oh yeah, and it's nighttime.
Yeah.
Kate has to wrestle up the information.
Mhm.
So you guys plan to get
do
whatever rest
know-
you can, or?
I was just going to say that we know that the full moon's in about 2 weeks, I think.
Mhm. Just about, yeah.
Ania's going to be leaving the room for a little bit once everyone starts
Mm.
settling down.
Okay.
Concerned if
Is
we
it-
go too early, we'll tip them off.
Mhm. Do I know if it's a good time to go snooping, or is it still too early?
The sun is more or less setting, so most likely, aside from the general skeleton crew at night, it's getting to the point where everyone's going to bed.
Mm-hmm. Does that include Roderick?
You have no idea.
Who knows?
Ah. Hmm?
Don't know if that guy even sleeps.
Does he? I have no idea. I was thinking I might do a bit more snooping around the castle while it's all dark out. If any of you want, y'all can tag with me, but it's a bit of a stealth job.
Gelmar just gives a chuckle and a snort probably at the same time because still tired. Much as I would love to. As I've made the comment before, subtlety is not exactly my strong suit.
Yeah. That's
Well,
just you rest here anyway, so.
I'm going to be looking at a few things around the castle, but I do suggest perhaps not snooping too much.
I blink blankly.
Ania leans forward and like taps Dakota's shoulder. She's not like whispering, but she's like,
I believe Mr. Roderick knows more than he should.
I mean, fair, but if he does have an understanding of things, I'd like to figure out how and why and figure out if I can figure out anything more about him. That's what
I'm
snooping is for.
I'm pretty sure you should assume that if you are snooping, he knows. So, it is up to you how much you test his patience.
Well, I don't plan to get caught.
No, I mean, if you move here, he probably knows.
Like a witch, he's seeing into a mirror.
He's a
No,
witch.
he's got his own version of the Marauders map. He just stares at it.
He just talks to the coffin, just like, you see this motherfucker? He's like walking. It's weird.
he thinks he's being sneaky.
Yeah, I
if-
think this
if-
dude over here is playing Galactica over here, fucker. Like, whatever.
I told that man to get back to his guard position, but look at him, he's over in the corner. He's probably flirting with the housemaid again.
The
If he
chef
has
is
omni-
chefing. Nice.
Like,
Yes. If he has omnipotence, miss, I'd like to figure out how, why, and how to avoid it.
Well, good luck. If you get in trouble, I'll do my best to bail you out.
How, why,
I'd
and how to
appreciate it,
avoid
miss.
it. Good lord.
But Ania will go over to the door.
I do have some things I want to check on, though.
Looking at the stars again?
I'm looking at that big mural in the middle,
And she's very excited.
but also the stars.
On that note, you did say you wanted to chat a little later around there. Where should I meet you?
Oh, we can chat wherever you feel comfortable. If you feel like chatting, just come find me. I won't be sneaking around. I'll just be looking at all the Yonti stuff.
I should probably better orient myself around here then. He says, slowly picking himself up and stepping out the door himself.
Before you leave, Kelmar, I would like to at least offer, before we all leave for the town, to perhaps... I would like to at least offer some help and some training.
We'll need all that we can get, he says, with a smile and still very clear, tired looking on his face.
well, I love training.
Good.
Rue, like a
I'd
happy
like
child.
I'd like to at least help you a little bit with your shield usage.
How so?
Well, it's not just something to block an attack with. You can also parry and use it to move in to attack on the same motion.
I've witnessed an old friend doing that all too well, he says, muttering under his breath.
Precisely.
I love the idea that you say this and Rue looks at her 25-pound shield.
I mean, she swings it
25.
around like
It's a tower
cardboard
shield.
anyways.
Yeah.
Only 25?
Shields are heavy as hell, but they are shockingly light compared to their size.
That's good though.
But your one is very dense.
Yeah.
If we have a couple of days, I think if we work hard at it, we should be able to teach you. We should be able to teach it to you. I should be able to teach it to you.
Can't hurt to try, and I'd be glad to pick up a few new tricks anywhere I can get them.
Yay, leader is the best.
I love that's his new nickname. Alrighty, so Ania and Galmar, you guys are both going to head to the Yanti Miro, I believe, yes?
Nia definitely is. I don't know where Gilmar's going.
He'll either go straight there or he's going to take some time to look around the area, and I will honestly let Ania pick that one, honestly.
Well, I can't decide where your character goes. Ania's going straight there. So if Gilmar follows,
fair.
Gilmar follows.
That's fair, honestly. Sure, I'll send him your way.
All right.
Cool. Alright, so you guys are gonna go there. Dakota, you're gonna start your snooping.
I don't know if
Okay.
anyone wants to come with me, but yeah, Dakota's going snooping.
I'm coming.
I mean, I think
Rue
the only
found
one. I think the
Bounces
only one.
and she just hear the chink,
Oh.
chink, chink, chink of the chainmail.
I was
that
gonna say,
Sapphire
I
wants to go.
think the only other person in the party who actually could follow her effectively is Sapphire.
Sapphire.
What are you saying,
Maybe so.
Or at
Sapphire?
least be silent enough to not draw attention.
Yeah, I'll go with Dakota.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay.
Sneak time. Alright. And then, Rue, what will you be doing? With, I assume Cyril is also in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I think if it's nighttime, Cyril's probably call it a night.
You just sit down, you just like power mode.
Powering down.
I think if we're not really doing anything and it's the end of the day,
Mhm.
I might want to go see if I can help out heal anybody or if anybody has any help
Aw.
around they need help
Aw.
with. Do you want to help lifting that box? I shout to somebody down the hallway.
Let's see. Let's see. You walk through town a little bit, so you'd know that there is one area that is designated for medical purposes, although it's not been particularly busy to the best of your knowledge. But you are welcome to go over and check, regardless.
Before I do that, of course, I say goodbye to leader. I say I'll be back and stay safe. And then she goes.
Bye, leader. Power down now. You old
Stay
robot.
safe.
Grandpa's just going to close his eyes.
Alright, we'll do Dakota and Sapphire last, because I think their one is going to have the biggest impact based on what I can think of. There's going to be something interesting that might happen there. And then we'll start with Ania and Galmar, I think. Because I think this is going to be a really, really fun scene. So,
Okay.
you guys kind of wander down the horde of stairs, because there's nothing better than a long jog down a flight of stairs at 9 o'clock at night.
Gosh.
In
Gilmar's defense, in Gilmar's defense, he just got up. This is basically just his act of waking up fully.
That's fair.
Get some cardio.
Yeah, dear, you get to experience. Are you walking down the stairs, or are you attempting to make it a little bit faster than the like 5-minute journey?
I was very tempted to use mold earth to just skate down the stairs. If like they're just normal stone.
Mm-hmm. They're just normal stone.
If I do that, am I able to put the stairs back in place behind me?
I'll say yes, because I think it's a really funny way of doing that.
Okay, Gilmore, you basically watch Ania like step down a few steps, put her staff down, then she just sort of glides across. She's not moving. It's like the ground, the stairs are moving her. She just escalators down.
Contrary to what you might assume, he just gives a smile while watching you slowly go down before calling out, "Show off!"
He's like, not show off, lazy.
Love that.
He just shakes his head with a smile before beginning his steps down the stairs.
Beautiful. You guys
I
eventually
did wanna-
get down the stairs. Galmar, it's like, 5+ minutes for you, and Nia, it's like 20 seconds. A much better journey. But you guys get down the stairs, you guys head out into the main area, which again is, for anyone who is new to hearing, essentially the ruins that they're in is very heavily decrepit. It's probably several hundred years old, and it really shows its age, especially as you look around the area. The stone has break-offs. There's a lot of damage done to a lot of the area just from time, just from the passage of nature taking its course over the metal and the stone and eroding all of it. So as you guys get down there, you look around the area, especially since it's nighttime, there's no one really in these halls. It's very almost chilling. Now, you guys are now in the month of autumn, I believe I named it. Let me just double check. Yes, you guys are in the month of autumn. So
Wait, is this like a star? Is this like a star Stardew? There is 4 months of the year, and each one is a different season.
I think I have 12 months. Yeah, I have 12 months, and there's 4. Autumn is just the start to fall. And yes, I know, it's very funny. But no, you guys went from the month of Monarch into inside of the end of summer, all the way to the month of autumn inside of the season of fall. And with that change of season, with the change of the month, is starting to get a lot colder to a degree. Normally the season of summer is pretty much blazing heats, for especially in the center of it, in Seoul. But inside of Monarch, it starts to chill down a little bit. So Seoul is like 90+ degrees, American, obviously Fahrenheit, but 90+ degrees. And then Monarch goes down to about 70, 75-ish average. And then as it moves into autumn, you guys are kind of feeling that cold chill kind of cross into you guys, specifically in the forest and the plains biomes. This is the general temperatures. So you guys are starting to feel that chill kind of creep in, and it's about 60-ish degrees for you guys, so not particularly cold, but it's definitely noticeable. And with the with no one else being there, with it being nighttime, it's kind of just a chilled atmosphere, But you guys walk in to this area. You look up at the mural in the middle of these ruins, and essentially it's a really nice area. Aside from the decrepitness, of course. But the amount of murals, the amount of Yuan-ti presentations, the amount of designs around you, even with age having taken its toll, is astonishing. And the big mural that I believe was showing the multiple groups interacting with each other, kind of the towns of Yuan-ti interacting, is right in front of you. Full presentation. It's definitely a lot of snake figurine, or not figurines, but snake presentations, from snake heads to snake bodies to full snakes to a bunch of, you know, normal humanoids, some a little bit shorter, probably gnomes, some a little bit taller, probably elves, but almost all humanoids. Weirdly enough, there's no orcs or most alternative humanoids either. It's mostly just humans and gnomes and elves, it looks like, and Yuan-ti, of course.
I wanted to ask, so if I use enhanceability to give myself advantage on intelligence checks, does that mean things like perception and history get advantage?
I believe perception is wisdom, but I believe history
It
would
is, in
give
fact,
bonus.
Perception is in fact
Oh, you're right.
wisdom, but investigation is intelligence.
Yeah, so you would
Okay.
get bonus on both of those.
Okay, so I would like to use enhanceability for Fox's cunning,
Okay.
which is so I get advantage on intelligence checks for an hour.
Ooh, very nice. Okay.
So I'll go ahead and use that. Oh wait, what does it roll for?
I'm not sure actually.
Oh, that's for the bear's endurance. Okay, so ignore
okay.
that.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's for bear's endurance. I used Fox's cunning though, so I get advantage on intelligence checks.
Very fair.
So
very
she's
fair.
going to be looking at the mural.
Mhm.
And would I roll investigation, history? How do I decipher this?
It depends on what you're looking for specifically. If you're trying
Religion?
to figure out how much you know about this area or this mural or what it's telling, that'd be history. If you're trying to decipher what this mural is trying to say as a story, it would be investigation. Or something else entirely.
I'm looking for anything about the Yuan-ti god.
Okay.
Would that be, do I see anything like at a glance that would make me believe there's stuff about the Yuan-ti god on this mural?
That's a good question. Let me roll. There's not a whole lot. This mural specifically, there's not a whole lot. The closest you can tell is that on the far right side, kind of buried in the mural, and there's a lot of broken aspects to it too. There's what appears to be a larger figure, significantly larger than the rest of them. And they do have a couple humanoids in prayer pose, you know, the head down, arms out forwards, prayer pose. And that's probably what you would assume would be the god.
Okay, I would like to decipher the story then.
Okay.
So that would be investigation?
Yeah.
And I will roll with advantage. Good.
Very nice, very nice. Dirty 20. So you're trying to read the story, and there's a lot of broken bits to it. You can kind of put together most of it. There are some spots that are so broken, it's really hard to figure out. But from what you can tell, and based on your knowledge from Roderick as well, from what he showed you with his magic, you can kind of tell that the story is as such. A long time ago, inside of what you assume would be here, there was a town, which makes sense for what Roderick had said. This town, which I believe, I don't remember why I named it on. I'm kind of annoyed I don't remember the name on. Sorry, I'm messing up my own shit here. Zatharis, I believe. Zatharis. So, the town of Zatharis was a prospering city, one that was rejoiced by many, interacted by many different races with a caring community. Yuan-ti were seen as a threat, a danger by many of the races. Their prayers gone unheard for decades, if not more. And so a world that is theirs, happiness and friendship, community, they never had. But in this town, they could create it. They became friends with humans. They shared and pooled resources. They created a kinship, a community of sorts. And then from what you can tell, the ending is a little bit ambiguous. There's a lot of broken pieces. You are kind of reading it one of two ways. And I'll let you decide whether or not you're reading both or if you're taking one specifically. The first way that you can read it is that their god came back to them and they declined their god. They rejected their god in order to gain their community, their kinship. The second way you can read it is that their god came back and they accepted their god and they worshiped the god again. There's a lot of broken pieces, so you're not really sure which one the mural is specifically saying it did.
Okay, and I can pick one.
You can choose whether or not you're holding both possibilities open, or if you as a character think one is more likely than the other.
I'm gonna hold both open.
Okay.
And am I able to decipher based on the story, is this made by a Yonti or is this made by another outside party talking about the Yonti?
You would have no idea. You wouldn't be able to tell. You don't know the craftsmanship of the Yonti or something to compare it to. In theory, maybe Gelmar might know, but Gelmar, you specialize in metalwork rather than stone masonship.
Just true. I could potentially make the check anyway, but I wouldn't expect much. That would be investigation, right?
Yeah.
And you will ask,
Gelmar, do you know how old this is?
Would that be a history check, then?
I would say the investigation check would be able to figure it out.
Okay.
Based on your albeit limited knowledge of stonemasonship, you've done a little bit of it, especially since you tend to craft, you tend to build a lot of stuff, you tend to pick up everything every now and again. You would know this is probably around 200 some years, maybe older, maybe 250, maybe 300. After a certain point, it gets really hard to tell, especially with age creeping in. But it's probably somewhere in the 200s, 300s. But after that point, it's like it could be however many years older past that.
Hard to say. If I'd have our guess, I'd have to say somewhere from 200 to 300 years old. Though could be anywhere longer than that.
Okay.
and having looked at the mural, she'll do a casual glance around on her way outside to look at the stars? Or can we see the stars from the courtyard from where we are?
You can see the
there a
stars
roof?
from where you are. There is no roof above you.
Okay, so Ania's just going to glance around to see if there's anything else of note she would like to investigate.
Roll me a perception check. 21, very nice. Character's name to be Coffee Addiction. I'll figure out a character for it. You look up, or not look up, but you look around you. And you're specifically trying to find more information about the Yonti, or?
Yeah, just more Yonti stuff, specifically anything about their god.
Okay.
Ania would like to find stuff about that.
So you're looking around for the most part. There's not a whole lot. There is a few things every now and again that you find, either pots or smaller murals, there are tapestries, it's all kinds of things. And for the most part, from what you're seeing, their god is one who transmutes, from what you can tell. A lot of them is like the person walks forwards and then they have like a modifications to them that change them, kind of like those presentations of monkeys turning into humans and stuff. But in this case, it's like multiple different forms of snakes. And as it's walking through, as it's presenting different ones, the god is certainly one that changes their people. You're not sure entirely what it does mentally, but physically speaking, it either gives them a head, it gives them an entire torso or the lower part of their body into a snake, or in some cases, it gives them very different, smaller physical details. But you can't quite tell because of the small print or small designs of it. You feel like, based on what you've seen, that the god has some kind of malice in creating these. But you really can't tell all that much how good or nice of a god it is. It mostly just feels like to you, as you're looking through all this, that any god that would be altering their people to such a degree probably doesn't have the nicest intentions for it. Especially not in this way.
Are there always sacrifices in these that are associated with the change?
There are. Almost every
Okay.
single time there is a creature. Oh, thank you. There is a creature on the floor, or a humanoid on the floor, and then a humanoid above, and then that humanoid above gets changed. Pretty much without exception.
Okay.
Most of these just say the same thing.
I'm afraid I'm not exactly the most familiar with Yonti text. What does it say?
Well, the big mural basically recounts the same story that Roderick told us. These little ones, I'm trying to find out more about their god, but they all just say the god, like, oh, transforms them, gives them one of three options, or maybe not even options, and it always comes with a sacrifice.
He says, leaning in closer to the murals. I'm assuming since it's a mural, it probably doesn't include any text, but in the off chance it does, can I recognize script type on it?
It does not have common on it. Let me look at your...
I have Giant and Dwarven, both of which use the same script, and Draconic. Cannot, off the top of my head, remember which script that is, though.
I would not say you would recognize many of them. A lot of them are picturesque, so almost similar to what we would know as Egyptian. Ania knows a few others.
I do know a special one.
Yeah. I would say that you guys would see a weird pseudo mix of Dwarven and Elvish. It's not quite either of them, but it's not quite different from them. It's like a mixture of the two using Old English kind of syntax. Pretty much impossible for two of you to actually decipher off the spot.
Well, I mean, even knowing the script probably wouldn't necessarily give me an answer. I mean, technically speaking, English and Spanish use the same script as well, but...
True.
I don't think these are Yonti made.
Well, a couple of these symbols look to be similar to Dwarven script of some variety, but can't say I can quite discern what any of it says individually, though.
Yonti script looks more like Draconic.
What? Why are you looking? He said, as turning his head.
No, it's from my past studies, unless my past studies were wrong.
I wouldn't know. I've never exactly encountered a Yuan-Ti.
You do notice,
strange.
Ania, that while the big mural doesn't have any Yonti script, many of the pots and some of the tapestries do.
And does it look so? Let me just make sure I'm not misremembering. From the book I read back in my backstory, their script is similar to Draconic.
Yeah, it's basically a modified version of Draconic where it focuses more heavily on the S's and a lot of the like the way the snake sounds, where it's like very harsh rather than Draconic's low and usually kind of rumbly vocal tendencies.
So Ania's going to look around at the stuff again. She's
These are made by Yanti, or at least this is the Yanti script. The stuff we were looking at before isn't Yanti.
So they were probably made by different cultures. Interesting.
Can I take a second look at the stuff that I know has Yanti script on it?
For sure. What are you looking for?
Any differences with the stuff that has the Elvish Dwarven script? Any contradictions?
There's no contradictions, weirdly enough. It's all the same kind of story presentation. The main difference that you see, everything that's stone crafted, everything that is, mason work, has the weird dwarvish elvish script, while everything that is clay and fabric is all Yanti.
That's really fascinating. I'm not very versed in fabric and clay works, but it looks like all the stone stuff was not made by Yanti, which means the big mural likely isn't either.
Then who put it together, I wonder, he says, looking back up at it.
I don't know. But none of them seem to contradict each other. It could just be historians. It doesn't have to be from the race to be accurate.
It is a good point.
Historians would
Probably.
probably rely on stone rather than weaker materials such as clay and fabric anyway.
Probably. But even those still tend to erode away on their own over time. It's still a good question, though. Perhaps these individuals had lived alongside the culture who made these same pots. There's no way you'd know for certain, especially this far forward, I suppose.
Ania would look up towards the stars like,
well, I don't know what else I'm going to get from them for today. I guess I'll just do my usual star reading.
And before she does, though, she is going to look around. Perception check. Is anyone spying, listening in?
Yeah, feel free.
Okay.
Man, even your 10s are still high as shit. As you look around, you would not see anyone. This feels like you walked into a ruin. It feels like a ghost town. Normally, when you walk into an area and look around, there's usually some kind of life to it, especially if it's been active. This place, once people are gone from it, there's no life to it. It feels like it's a dead place. So as you look around, you're kind of trying to see if anyone's over around. There's no one. It's almost chilling, honestly.
Okay. So Ania's going to start looking at the stars, but as she said, she's going to talk to Gelmar.
So, you mentioned the mirror unnerved you a little bit?
I don't think I'm going to be getting the sound of bone cracking and agonized screams out of my head anytime soon.
Ania's voice will serious up a little bit, and she says,
It bothered me too. I can't get around how the others were just okay with it.
I suppose with Cyril, experience does probably, to some degree, make it a bit more dull in his head, but I am a little unnerved about the rest.
Cyril doesn't bother me as much. He's a couple 100 years old anyway. But
He is? He says, placing a hand to his face, looking upwards towards the sky. He's not told me his age.
You didn't know.
he never knows. Gelmar never knows anything.
Age intelligence. So I'm probably
he
role-playing
didn't-
it way too low.
I love it.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me either. I'm just very nosy. But the others, you know how Sapphire You have to look someone in the eye to shoot someone in the eye, you know.
I don't think I want to think about where that line came from.
It was just something I was thinking about. Was it only the battle that bothered you, or did the entity say anything that upset you?
No, it was mostly the fight itself. Honestly, my discussion with the entity in question was probably one of the most pleasant ones I've had with otherworldly beings for quite some time.
Me too. They were oddly helpful for some reason. I still can't quite put my mind around it. What about the fight is bothering you so much? Just, well, what part of it?
I was the last one alive in that fight. Or, more accurately, my doppelganger was. I wonder what I would have done had I found myself in that situation. I suspect, had he lasted a few more moments, I might have looked upon something I never wanted to see.
You think you would have just given up?
No, but I'd rather not see what could have potentially come from deeper down.
The protector never wants to be the last one alive.
Everyone else is our responsibility. That's how it's always been.
No?
Though, I suppose it is. I don't know. Something feels even more strange about it. Something I can't quite put my finger on.
It bothers me a lot and has continued to bother me even before this. I'll see everyone use these powerful spells, and I look at them and I just know if that had been aimed toward me, I would be down quite easily. But I can't find many other ways to improve my protection other than going against what my own druids taught me.
I suppose we all have those corner cases occasionally. Unfortunately, I'm not exactly the best when it comes to defending from magic myself. Still, if you do find a method, I would be more than happy to hear it. Believe me, mages have always given me more problems than I'd like to admit when it came to defense.
You know, actually, that makes me think of something. And she'll look over to Gelmar and tap her staff on the ground a few times just for gesturing purposes. And she'll be like, we suddenly got very stronger. And normally adventurers, they will outfit themselves with new gear and find items on their journeys, but I think our gear is out of date.
Kalmar tilts his head in confusion. What do you mean?
We had a sudden jump in power, but we don't have the battle experience to show for it. Neither the coin from doing the jobs or from exploring places. That's why it's feels so scary.
You might be onto something, but that
It's
does
like we
raise the
haven't
next
even.
question. If we just jumped up in power like that, where did it all come from?
Well, those visions we saw, remember? Back at the tower? Afterwards, I was able to.
I just had a duel with an old friend, and I copied down on a new rune of his.
But everyone saw visions, and when I woke up, I was able to do things like you saw me down the stairs. I wasn't able to do that before then. And I don't think Ruined Dakota had those big spells they used either.
That is a fair point. Do you think we should be worried about the source?
I think the sources is various. I think we should be more worried about the fact we don't have proper protections against even ourselves.
What I wouldn't do for a few of my sister's old spells. Imagine the ability to throw up a barrier every now and again would be wonderful in cases like those.
Next time we're in town, we should probably endeavor to really upgrade our supplies or something.
I'm more than happy to aid with anything metallurgy related.
Well, I'm not really one for metal, unfortunately, but I'm sure the others would be happy.
Sorry to hear that. I'll see what I can find in that regard anyway, though. Maybe a couple of runes in the right places might help.
Mm-hmm. Did you figure out what was bothering you about the fight, or do you think maybe that at least gives you something to work on and eases your mind?
It gives me something to work on, but I'm still going to see and hear those noises in my head every time I close my eyes for at least a while. I'm certain of that much.
Maybe you can ask Rue to help you sleep.
If he's got a trick for that, I'd love to hear it. But that's a discussion for a little later, I suppose.
Well, I have a question for you if it's okay. Unrelated.
What's on your mind?
And she'll step closer to Gelmar and she'll like play whisper.
Are you a dragon?
He'll actually just straight up recoil at that comment.
Insight check.
Okay.
Feel free, yeah.
Alright. Cloud rune.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
No,
10
he
versus 14.
responds, trying his hardest to have a straight face, but you see past that. That's BS. There's something mucked up here.
And Nia will perk up.
Like, oh, that's why the other dragonborn send you were different. Oh, that's cool.
He also said that Dakota was different in that regard. If you're concerned about that, I don't think this
Oh.
quite differentiates it.
Dakota's not a dragon.
Do you have to?
Have to what?
He just leans down to her. We're supposed to be dead.
Ania will think on this for a little bit, and she has that impish smile. It's like, and she'll lean back over, like,
I'm supposed to be dead too.
What are you talking about now?
Who knows?
Insight.
Who knows?
Whoa!
I'm not going to roll deception, but actually I will.
Why is
since
that?
you-
Oh, because you're exhausted, aren't you?
Disadvantage because I've got exhaustion still.
That's right.
It was technically interrupted to rest.
Mhm. I'm gonna roll deception, but I'm going to try to give you something anyway, depending. So, unfortunately, Gelmar will probably have trouble figuring something out, but Ania is being playful about it. So it's hard to tell, like, she's obviously keeping something from him, you just can't tell what. And she's being very playful about it, so it probably wouldn't hurt to poke her more on it. She's being a gremlin.
Wasn't she always?
And the worst part is I'm just sitting here above game trying to decide what I could actually ask that would be prodding deeper.
Ania will look back up at the stars and be thinking, it's like,
You know, when I talked to the mirror was oddly helpful, and the mirror suggested that maybe I shouldn't be keeping secrets from everyone, but I don't know where it got that idea. It's only one of two things. One, everyone wouldn't really care about my secrets, or two, the mirror wants to see me suffer by revealing them.
Gelmar still looks like he's not certain how to respond to these sorts of comments. Personally, I think that to some degree a secret is a good defense. I'm a little bit concerned that you figured mine out as quickly as you did.
Quickly, we've been traveling for months. Over half a year now.
He just headed back down to you. For all we know, the last 5 individuals we've passed in a row were all dragons, and we would never know.
Are they that common?
I have not even I know at this point. We've just been electing to try and hide out. It's far
Ania
more interesting to
will
watch. It's far more interesting to watch from close up this way.
Ania will move her staff to sort of tap at Gelmar's gauntlet where the strap is, and she'll say,
Well, first the Dragonborn said you weren't Dragonborn, which is very strange. And when we came in here, Roderick looked at me, and he also looked at you. And also, these straps you have are transmutation magic.
They are above game. Actually, the transmutation magic was coming off of him.
She can be, would she have known that? Because I don't mind her being mistaken.
I think technically the only thing I said about the restraints themselves was that they looked like they were consuming magic.
So you probably, in character, you either would have known he was transmutation magic, or you would have mistaken it because it was eating the transmutation magic.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like, well, maybe. It's eating magic, so maybe it just seems like a lot of different magics. I also am very nosy.
That seems a little odd thing to tell me directly, but okay.
Why wouldn't I tell you directly?
I thought most individuals who like going that deep prefer to keep those details a secret unless they directly needed them for something.
Well,
Nia will look back up and settle down from her gremlin giggling, and she'll be like,
well, I'm telling you because we're a party. And if you know that I know, maybe that will help you down the line. I'm not gonna tell anyone, probably.
Ash, oh crap, that's right. He never even picked up on those details between her and Dakota, so he just has to take her at the word. I appreciate that. Then again, I suppose not many people would likely believe you if you did tell them.
I could be pretty convincing, but then again, I'm also very not convincing.
He leans back down to her face to face. I would appreciate it if you did not try.
Yes, sir.
And while I'm out here, may I do a nature check on the stars?
Yep.
And I
The
still roll with
stars.
advantage because it's intelligence.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Ooh.
I'm glad I rolled with
Advantage
advantage.
was very necessary. What are you checking for exactly?
Since it's a new month, just a general check.
Okay. So as you look kind of at the stars, you're kind of looking at what they are. It's definitely moving into autumn's month. Every month, the stars physically change too. They kind of change locations to a degree. It's always an odd sight to see, especially as the month ends. The day after, or the night after, I suppose, you can actually see the stars moving into alignment. And so as you're looking up at the stars, is one of your favorite things to do most, the beginning of most months, is you can actually see the stars slowly transitioning into their new formats, or the new shapes and stuff, as it's the new month. So that's the most thing that you're getting from this, is that it's settling itself.
Yeah, okay, so nothing's set up easily to read yet.
Not that you can see, no.
So the snake or dragon I saw, can I tell anything about it?
Let's see. This would be the month of autumn. So the dragon that you saw before, its shape is actually one of the main star constellations that you can see most nights. Because of the new month, you can actually see it changing into kind of a tree almost.
Okay.
Mhm.
You'll see.
The stars are in the midst of changing, so it's a little bit hard for me to read them tonight. It's always nice to see, though.
How do you read the stars anyway?
Nia will use her staff to motion upwards.
Well, you have to do a lot of studying and learning. Different constellations mean different things, and where they are in comparison to others can mean very subtle and different things as well.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything specific you can predict with them?
And she'll think about it, looking up.
He's already just
So do you
like
have-
laying on his back, staring up at the sky stars as well.
Aw. So instead of me just freewheeling here, is there anything you know definite about how star druids read?
Usually the primary way that they do it is it's pattern recognition to a degree. It's also like innate feelings. One of the main patterns is that every month, something associated with month usually happens, and kind of the way that the stars line up can kind of foretell certain things. But also like it gives you a gut feeling, especially as you've grown to be with them for a long enough time. Your gut feelings about it kind of change. So it kind of depends on the druid. Some of them focus very heavily on omens, focus on this how the stars are presenting, which ones are brighter, which ones are darker, the shapes that they're in throughout the month, the things that happen on day-to-day basis. And other druids, specifically moon druids especially, they almost go purely on gut. It's like they look up, they say, that's what I feel, and then they go with it.
Okay. And you will continue to look up. It's like,
Well, as you become more attuned to nature, nature is able to speak more clearly to you. It's sort of like you and metal. Do you ever look at different metal and just know things about it when you look at it?
Indeed, in a manner of speaking. Each has their own different feel. Each has their own different coloration and sheen. And I've honestly started to find that they all almost smell different as well.
and you will nod and look back up and say,
For reading the stars, I mean, they're so far, so there's only so much I can glean from that. I can't really use my sense of smell on stars. But sometimes certain stars of a constellation are dimmer or brighter than usual. And usually the stars will give a big message each month about something major. And right now they're currently shifting, so I can't tell anything about the coming month. But maybe by the time we get to town, they'll be aligned properly.
Let's hope so. The last thing we need is some sort of major or catastrophe that we can't see coming.
Hmm. From what I can see, though, things are starting to look good.
That much is at the very least. It's good to hear. So, not no real leads any at all in that case.
Well, it's like trying to read a letter that's only partially written. It's still being written, so I can't glean too much. I can see the constellation for tree coming into play.
is that normally a thing that happens during autumn month?
Yeah, they usually turn it, the month of autumn is usually a very large tree. A
And
lot of
that's usually
leaves as well.
that's usually pretty typical for autumn, but if the stars are going to be telling me anything regarding trees, I hope it's not bad.
I suppose only time will tell.
And you will nod and start to head back to the room.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about before we go back, or you want to stay out here a little bit longer?
I might be a few more minutes, he says with a smile while staring up. You go on ahead. I'll be there. I promise I'll actually get a full night's rest tonight.
The stars are pretty, aren't they?
And she'll tip her head and she'll escalate her up the stairs.
Whee!
Above game that it was in fact serious. He is going to be going there in a few minutes.
Cool.
Mhm.
All right, so we're gonna move over to Rue. So Rue, you headed down after they did. A nice, gentle journey of yours. You took the stairs like a champ, and eventually made your way down and start heading towards where you're fairly confident is where the healing tent area would be. They don't seem to require a whole lot of healing necessities in this area, so you head over to that general area, and it's mostly dark, it's mostly quiet. But roll me perception.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Perception. Let's see what we got.
All right. You barely catch it by like just being the right place, the right time, and you look just barely to the left, and you almost do miss it, but you see the shape of someone moving out of the tent and kind of heading outwards towards the outside of the castle through what seems to be just a normal wall, but you see there's a little crack in the wall. Do you want to follow them or?
Yeah. I don't know how sneaky we're gonna be, but sure.
If you're attempting to be sneaky, feel free to roll me stealth. And I don't remember what your armor is.
We can see. We can see. Maybe they need help. Oh damn! It's my time to shine.
You also get disadvantage on stealth because you are wearing chainmail.
Damn! Let me just go ahead one more time.
Oof. All right. Well, not the best stealth. You did you bring your shield with you?
Oh yeah, everything.
All right, cool. So you're trying to sneak forward, so your shield is kind of hitting against your arm. You got your chainmail going. You're not particularly stealthy at this dead of night, but the stars are shining. The moon is pretty, and so you're walking through. You find this little gap in the wall that person went through, and you kind of slide yourself into it with some difficulty, as it is a smaller hole, but you are a small person. So you kind of slide yourself through it, and you pop out on the other side, and it's, forest area. There's a small little moat around the castle, but it's mostly dried up because there hasn't been rain for a little while. But you do see whoever this person is, they've now hit the tree line. They seem to look around for a second, don't seem to notice you. Doesn't seem like they're expecting anyone to be behind them by 20 feet. But you do see them head into the tree line.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty good at being in the forest, so let's go see if they need any help. Just kind of following after that they're safe,
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Or if there's someone suspicious.
All right, yeah. So you start heading after them. Do you have a high survival?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's not even hard to keep track of their footprints. They're doing nothing to hide it. You're fairly confident they do this quite frequently, and no one follows them. So, but they're doing nothing to hide their footprints. So you're able to see it as easily as if it was daytime. It's like hunting a moose. It's not particularly difficult for you. And so you head through the forest for about probably 15, maybe 20 minutes. Before you end up in this kind of sort of clearing area, and or at least on the outskirts of it, right, the tree line, and you see this person. You can mostly just see the cloak they're wearing. The hood is up. You can't really tell anything about their body. And there's a weird little campfire in front of them. Very small, very contained. But they walk up to it. They sit down. They grab what looks to be a book of sorts, and they start writing down in it.
Just perceiving the area. Do I notice anybody else before I'm getting out of the bushes here?
Roll me perception. Currently, you do not.
Sound feels good enough.
It feels all right.
It's fine enough. She steps out and she goes, yoo-hoo, hello.
You as you step out, you say you like you see this person in the blink of an eye, like shove the book into their cloak, turn around towards you, and flick a firebolt in your direction. Roll me dexterity.
Oh my
Dexterity
goodness.
save.
Oh. Saving throw or something? I
Yeah,
don't know.
dex saving throw.
Uh-oh.
You are able by the fucking just the barest of a moment able to dodge as it like flings into the tree next to you. It clearly wasn't intended to like directly hit you. It's like a warning shot kind of a thing, but the speed that she threw it at is astonishing. And you see this high elf looking at you, and underneath her cloak you see a she's wearing like kind of leather-ish oh my god, clothing, kind of ragged, but you can tell there's something shinier underneath that. She looks at you and she goes, "Who are you? I don't recognize you."
Hi, sorry I startled you. Didn't mean to. My name's Rue. I'm here with my party. Who are you?
Oh, I assume you're the newcomers then. I apologize. I don't get visitors very often. I'm Elonian Moonshade. Or sorry, Nightshade. That was my mistake.
Wait, hey
Elonian
Sin,
Nightshade.
wasn't that the name? Wasn't that the last name on the spell book?
Moonshade might have been. I'm not sure.
I don't remember. Sorry.
It was Moon something. But her name is Elonian Nightshade. Sorry, I was seeing a different one with Moon. She's like, my name is Elonian Nightshade. You said your name was Rue?
Yeah, just Rue. Nice to meet you.
Ah, it's nice to meet you too. Um, you look not quite elven. Are you half elf?
Oh yeah, just half elf.
Ah, you see, she kind of relaxes a little bit as you're talking to her. She seems to have kind of her posture is very straight. From what you can tell based on your knowledge of medical stuff, she has a very methodical way of moving, and it seems like she moves specifically not to injure herself in any way, shape, or form. You've seen a couple of healers do the same kind of general movements. She has very pale skin and pretty much pure silver hair. And she is definitely a high elf. There's no mistaking it. As you look into her eyes, there is a deep, captivating shade of amethyst as she looks at you. Did you need something?
Oh. No, not really. Oh, sorry that I was following you. I thought that maybe you would need help. But I see you have a nice little camp here.
Yes. She kind of looks around for a second. Take care of some animals when they wander through.
Can I roll in?
100%.
She's not smart, but she got some wisdom on her. Come on.
Oh, Jesus Christ. 17. Okay. Let's see. Deception is charisma. She would have a. Wow. Yeah, you can tell she's lying out of her fucking teeth.
Oh,
She's not very good at it.
animals? That doesn't seem quite correct.
Yeah, I'm the healer in the town, and so I come out here every now and again, and if I see an injured bunny, I cure it.
Really? That's really nice of you to do that.
Yes. It's a passion of mine. I love the uh wilderness.
Oh, me too. Do you have anything you're doing right now? I could help out.
No, that's perfectly all right. I was just logging down some of the animal habits around here before I headed back to the tent.
Hmm.
Yep.
Tell her you're a cleric. That'll calm her down.
Oh, I don't know. She's a little sus. But what could Rue possibly say to ask? mm, are you sure it's animals? And she's gonna start kind of like meandering around the camp. Can I notice anything about maybe like bloodstained footprints? If these animals, quote unquote, are actually like people or something?
As you look around you, you do see footprints from an elk that probably ran through maybe half an hour or so ago. Aside from that, though, you don't see any animal prints or any other prints or anything like that.
Hmm.
Yep, just some animals. Yep, just logging some down. See, you came by and haven't seen a single one since,
You're not hurting anybody, right?
No, why would I hurt somebody? I'm a healer.
Insight.
Feel free.
Just confirming.
That sentence was true.
That's good to hear. It's always nice to help out some people. Mm.
And you're here with your group, so do you need
Yeah.
medical help?
Oh no, we got the pretty capable team of people who can heal pretty well. Though if you have any pointers, I would love to listen.
Yeah, how much do you know about the humanoid body?
A little more than a little bit.
Is it, I assume that was a roll of medicine check, Sin?
Nah, it says just like, how much do you know? Well, kind of. She kind of looks at you
Yeah.
confused. It just goes, yeah, I'm assuming you're not the healer.
Oh no, I am.
Her confusion deepens. Oh,
Well, I guess it's more like innate knowledge. Like once you start doing stuff, you're like, oh, I actually know how to do this.
I
You
suppose.
never felt that way?
No, healing's usually studied,
Oh.
deeply, so you don't misplace an organ.
Oh well. I mean, I guess that's one way to do it.
Are you sure you're okay? Are you all right in the head? Do you need medical attention?
Did she miss the scar?
I was gonna say it's on her jawline. It's very visible.
Yeah. It's like, do you need medical attention? Or, you know?
Would for this thing? No. I don't think this thing can disappear.
Huh. Wow.
It's kind of like stuck there.
Is a birthmark?
Oh no.
Is it a birthmark?
Good question, but no.
Is this lady really a healer? I feel like she would know.
I see. Well, don't think most of the animals will be coming out, so I'm gonna head back to the castle.
Are you sure you don't need any help?
I think I'm good. If you would like to hunt some animals and get some food, feel free. The animals are in a good amount right now,
Hmm.
so you can hunt. I'm gonna I'm I'm gonna get going.
Mm-mm. I don't know if I will do that, but initially I was coming out here to go and help people. But since you're a good, I could always go foraging and come back.
I
Well, have a good day. Sorry for making you startled and stop reading your book.
uh yeah, good good day. Yeah. She like just kind of turns around and slowly starts walking away.
She just watches her. Watches her.
We
as
need
she's
to, we need to stop letting her out by herself.
You see a
She
moment where
watches her.
where she turns around a little bit and locks eyes with you, and you could see a look of genuine concern on her face before she just kind of turns around again and slowly
Just that
walks
dead,
out.
just that dead smile that's looking at her.
Concerning everyone in the world. All right,
Okay,
cool.
well, since nobody needs anything, I guess I'll go like foraging for some herbs.
Feel free, roll me a survival check.
Awesome. Yay!
Very nice. So, do
Holy
you
crap.
look around the camp before you move out?
Oh, it's kind of her property. She didn't seem like she was doing anything too bad. Oh, I'll give it a little look around, but I don't want to be too nosy.
Very
Maybe
fair.
she dropped something. You could go return it.
Could have been. Could be. She could have left. She left really fast for some reason. I don't know.
So you look around the area. You do notice there it's just a little spot under some threshold or whatever it's called, or at like bushes and shit. There's another tiny book.
I will go pick it up and look at it. The cover.
There is nothing on the cover. It's completely blank cover.
Oh. I will. Do I detect magic?
You can if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to open like magical books. Mm,
You know, fair.
sure, I'll just sure, I'll just do it. Cast detect magic.
Okay. You do detect magic, and it doesn't feel magical to you. It just looks like an average everyday ordinary book, and you detect magic on it, and yeah, it's just a normal average everyday book.
Hmm.
Weirdly hidden.
I will go and open it then. Hmm.
You open up the book and you start reading through it, and you don't know how your character would be seeing it. You start looking through the book, and with your intelligence, you're not really sure what most of it means. But you can confidently say is not logging down animal habits. Definitely not logging down animal habits. It looks like a series of messages between people, but only half a conversation, weirdly enough. So you're kind of getting a response answer kind of thing, but you're only getting half of it. And it's definitely one person replying every time. You're not really sure what's going on with the in the thing. But from what you can tell, at least, every now and again you'll see a portion that's like, the bandit camp is doing this, basically. and then a reply to whatever they had said in response, which makes no sense to you whatsoever. But it seems like, at least to the best of your knowledge, talking about the bandit camp and some of the activities going on in there.
Oh, this makes me think maybe I should have taken them back to leader. Oh no. Wait a second, we're we supposed to be suspicious about high elves? Oh wait. Uh-oh. Do I say this or not?
Like the suspicions.
It's not even your book. You read someone's book without permission.
I know, but they're talking about the bandit camp. Wait, this camp? The bandit camp?
Yeah, it looks like this place. Yeah.
Do you care about the
Oh
bandit
no.
camp?
Well, if it's the elves, right? The elves, we think, or they had blown up, right? That whole place. So maybe they're the instigators. I don't know.
Rue's uncovering
All this
secrets,
is
and
too
it's
much
just
for
like,
me.
what the fuck?
I don't know what to. She just kind of like holds the novel and is like, I really don't know what to do with this information. I should go check it back.
Do you want to forge before you go back?
Yes, I do.
Alright, cool. Use that 26. You're like, alright, cool. I got this book, and I need my plants.
Yeah.
You go around, you collect 4 bundles of herbs for the future.
Yay!
Very nice selection of them. And then you head back.
Yay! All for Ania.
Are you going directly back to Cyril?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you just kind of pass
But
the
I'm not
tent.
gonna go like in the room yet. Oh my god.
you kind of pass the tent from what you look over side, and you see inside the tent the lady Elonian, I believe her name was. Let me just double check. Yeah, Elonian, just sitting there, kind of writing something. She looks up and she catches your eyes. You pass on by, slowly looking. Just keep on moving.
Oh yeah.
But you eventually get
She definitely tries to hide the book, so she's not like she took anything. Oops. Hi, good day. Have a good one.
the middle of the night. Good day.
True. She's never been good at the type thing.
You eventually make your way back to the room. All right, we're going to move over to Dakota and Sapphire.
Okay.
So you guys are, just exiting the room. Rue will probably leave after you guys do. So you guys exit the room. Where are you two going first?
Okay, so would I have attempted to sketch a sort of map with my extreme nat 20 awesomeness epic searching?
You would basically have the knowledge of the castle in your head at this point, yeah. Not the
Okay.
inside the castle itself, but the ruins as a whole, you would basically have in your entire head.
Okay, so I haven't actually gone inside of the castle, or
The only places you've gone inside the castle is the throne room and your room and the kitchen.
okay. All right, so in which case I'll go around the castle, some such. Glad to find me just checking on Sapphire. Sorry. All right, we're gonna be snooping around the castle and trying to see if we can get in that throne room, eh?
Sounds good to me. Lead the way.
Huh?
Ah.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
All right. So you heading for the castle first, or the oh my god, the throne room first, or are you heading towards a different area first?
We're probably going because I want the throne room to effectively be last, so I can try and determine if it's safe to go in the throne room. you never sneak into the castle through the front door, right?
I mean, fair. I forget. Did I say the throne room had windows?
I don't know if you
Even-
specified.
Even I don't remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I won't say it does. Retconning if I said it didn't. I won't say it does, but you are about approximately 40 feet off the ground. So that is an opportunity if you don't want to go through the literal ton doors. Just depends how you want to go about it.
I'm good at climbing.
You're good at climbing. So I'd say you wander around for probably, I don't know, 20 some minutes. You wander around for about 20 or so minutes. I'm investigating the castle itself. You see obviously the kitchen, you see the storage rooms, you see there doesn't seem to be much in the way of bathrooms per se, but there's the equivalent of porta potties every now and again. And obviously there's the woods. Most of the people here don't seem to care one way or another. And eventually you kind of get to, there's a couple of storage rooms as well. And there's storage room for like flour, for dry ingredients, for a bunch of different things like that. And that's the bulk of the castle. There's also was effectively the barracks. As you kind of walk in, to the barracks, you see like, you hear it first, but there's like 30 or 40 people in this room, all sleeping the night away. It's loud as shit. Do you do anything in there? Or you just walk up and you walk away?
Okay, all right. Can you specify more on the specifics there?
You walk into the doorway of a room, and the room
Right,
is a
yes.
barracks, and there's like 40 or 50 people in there. You're welcome to do whatever you want in there if you want to, or you can leave immediately.
I vote leave.
Yeah, Dakota's probably gonna leave. He'll probably glance to Sapphire a bit to see what her thoughts on it specifically are. But assuming she just turns around and leaves, Dakota will be like, yeah, okay. It's not much you can glean from there anyway. We don't want to get caught this late.
Fair enough. All right, so you do a bit of wandering around the area. There's not a whole lot of excitement in the ruins for the most part. The only place you have not discovered to this point, and you have all of it in your head at this point, the only place you haven't really investigated is the throne room.
Okay.
I would say that you do, without her noticing, you do walk past where you see Alexandria just kind of doing something in the kitchen.
Just kind of walk right past. Sneaky.
So you see her in the kitchen, you go, nope.
By the way, I will say I did not cast invisibility or anything that sort in case Roderick can detect magic.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah. Just going through it. Okay, all right. I think you said the throne room has windows, which are pretty high up.
Yeah, about 40 or so feet off the ground.
All right, I think Dakota will kind of gesture up there. This just kind of quietly goes climbing up there. We're gonna see if he's in there. And I'll check if there's any sort of magical presence there that I can recognize. He'll pull out his gun. And he's gonna Eldritch Whip up there just like he did in the first portion of the thing when we snuck into that castle.
Oh, you're fucking Indiana Jonesing the fucking wall. Wee! Sapphire, you're watching those. So you're watching him scale the wall with a whip from a gun. You see it once before, but it's still just such a weird sight. Are you also going to be scaling this wall, albeit slightly slower, or are you planning to go through a different way?
I don't see how, unless I'm on his back, I don't see how I would be able to go up the same way. Unless he's going to throw down a rope for me.
He could
I
throw
can-
a
I
rope.
I can throw down my whip for you. I think I have regular rope on me, but that is my first instinct.
You throw down the rope. It's like halfway ish there. You're like, oh right, there's the limit. Hold on, let me get my fucking normal rope. The normal people's
Yeah.
rope.
Mhm.
All right, so you kind of let down the rope. I assume Sapphire, you climb it. I assume Dakota that you tie it off somewhere at the top, so you aren't trying to lift Sapphire the whole way up.
I can't hold her weight.
It's fine. I'm asking
Yeah.
because you would die.
I would. I really would.
So you tie it off, somewhat sturdy. Your dexterity is quite nice. Sapphire, you climb all the way up to the area. It's probably about 5 feet below the actual window itself. Dakota, you grab your rope and put back in your pack, neatly folding and shit. And you'll kind of lean over and look through the window. And as you guys do see Roderick just kind of sitting there. He looks a lot more tired than he has the last few times you've seen him. He is sitting on the coffin though. And you guys do anything next couple minutes?
I think if I see Roderick in there, I'm probably going to like see if I can find a little bit of a better hiding spot to make sure he doesn't see me. As I attempt to like kind of signal to Sapphire if she hasn't gotten up there already. So he's up there, quiet, like quietly.
Be quiet. Shh. Be as loud as hell.
You got it.
I'm just trying to assess what he's doing, see if he's gonna pull out his freaking all-seeing eye or whatever.
He's sitting there. It takes a couple of minutes. But after a few minutes, he seems to like slowly stand up with seemingly a little bit of difficulty, and he walks into the only room that's there. Both of you roll me perception as he opens this door.
It's gonna be hard for me. Maybe easier for Sapphire. Perception.
Almost a nat
okay.
20.
That's okay. It's okay.
Will this be the only session without a nat 20?
I'm kind of curious. Sapphire, give me that nat 20. Let's go.
I have total faith in her ability. I mean, that was close. That's a 23.
Oh, wow.
Almost got it. So
Still was a natural 19, but holy crud.
no. So you Dakota don't see a whole lot as is opening. It's dark. It's kind of annoying. I don't believe you have dark vision, if I recall correctly.
I don't.
On the other hand, Sapphire does. So you both are sitting there, kind of looking over a little bit, trying to keep eyesight without him noticing. And it's not very difficult because his back is to you at this point. And he opens the door. Dakota, you have a very hard time seeing anything in that room. It looks like black darkness. Sapphire, you look, and as he opens the door, you look into it, and you see a room full of bodies. Not bloody ones. None of them look killed. None of them look, murdered or anything. But it's a room full of bodies.
He has bodies in that room.
I'm sorry, he has what now?
Bodies.
Like dead bodies?
Yes. They're not moving. They're not bloody, but they're not moving.
Heck is I mean, I guess that's one way to keep skeletons in your closet, but heck is he doing with bodies in a freaking locked room.
You see him walk in. He closes the door behind him with his staff, and you hear resounding thunk from the door closing.
Keep quiet.
How far away is he from us?
The room, the door is about probably 60 feet away, just right at the edge of your vision.
Damn, I was gonna. If he was close enough, I was gonna cast Detect Thoughts,
Ooh.
but he's not close enough, unfortunately.
Hey, don't you have the? Does your telepathy work, or is that not how that works?
It's only to, I believe, the 60 feet radius.
Mm.
Let
Okay.
me see real quick.
And then it's like infinite range.
Yeah, so anyone within 60 feet she can talk to, or she can cast Detect Thoughts, which is up to 30 feet.
Right. That'd be a good thing though, because we don't know if he has some way to detect the magic.
Just send a message into his head being like, hey baby, there's hot snake ladies downstairs. Just for
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's like a bad pop-up. Now, these windows are old as hell, so getting in is not particularly difficult. It is cracked in many places, so moving them around would not be in any way, shape, or form hard. So you could go into the room if you would like.
Did Roderick leave?
Yeah, he walked into
that's
the
right.
room
Okay,
60 feet away and then closed the door with his staff.
Yep, the body room.
Yeah, the body room.
Okay. All right. I think.
Should I get closer?
I think we could. Just not sure when he's gonna come out. Look around to see if there's a good spot to hide if he suddenly comes out while we're in that room. Like proper.
I will note that Ania is not going to bed until Dakota and Sapphire are back minimum.
Fair.
I guess, seriously speaking, if that's the case, then Gilmer's probably gonna get back while she's still up. Trouble sleeping?
Oh, it's still on the other ones.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're
No
good.
problem.
I think Dakota will want to get out and like look around the room. He's gonna head in because he knows he has limited time.
Okay.
And I think he would assume that he could probably quickly get back through the window if he scales fast enough. You know, Sapphire's pretty swift as well. So
It's
he's
not
gonna get out and
particularly
start looking around.
difficult to get into the room or out of the room, but the coffin is about 50 feet away from where you guys are standing at the window, so keep that in mind. Let me move over to the throne room. So you guys are like second window, and the coffin is here.
Okay, all right.
So I'm assuming you both kind of head in, kind of sneaking your way in there. Dead silence. Nothing in the room is moving. There's no sounds. Nothing at all.
Okay. And I'm assuming I don't know what my Whiff of the Beyond would actually tell me in this room.
It would probably tell you what he is.
Do I detect anything with that? That's actually a pretty good question. Like anything specific.
It's a very good question. Let me double check what Whiff does real quick. It's weird. You're getting usually you only get one, and it's pretty strong. But but in this case, you're getting a weird mixture of undead, celestial, and fiend in like a spiral around the room.
That's weird. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna look around for anything interesting besides the coffin first. Kind of like looking
Riches.
around.
Not much you guys haven't already seen. There's a lot of, honestly, there's a lot of money just laying on the ground. There is probably priceless artifacts there in the room as well. Yuan-ti artifacts and stuff like vases and all that other fun stuff. On the wall appears to be a very pretty longsword, as well as next to it is a shield. It's kind of a smaller shield, but it's decorated, so probably more decorative than is anything else. Aside from that, there's not a whole lot here. It's mostly barren aside from like treasures.
Okay. Interesting.
There's a lot of money on the ground.
Okay. I figured that one. Okay, I'm gonna move closer to the coffin, but I'm gonna glance back to see if Sapphire wants to do anything before I investigate that further.
Anything you're investigating, Sapphire?
I guess a hiding spot near. So you said there's a second room that he went into?
Yeah.
That's where the bodies are? Okay, I guess a spot where I can easily hide if he comes out that's close to the door so I could possibly hear something.
Ooh,
Very smart.
Maybe there's a keyhole you can look through.
Your detect thoughts can penetrate up to 2 feet of stone. The door is not 2 feet thick, so you would be able to actually use that through the door to detect his thoughts. But if he does open the door, the only real hiding spot you have is let's see, there's a couple of chests around, so you could potentially hide behind or in one of the chests. But that would probably be difficult to get out of. Or you could do a mad dash sprint into the window to get out. Or you could Misty Step. You do have Misty Step as well. In fact, you have multiple casts of Misty Step you can use. And I believe you can take people with you? Question mark? Oh, no, you can't. Okay. I'm thinking of something else. But you can totally teleport if you see him. You can basically teleport through him. You have Misty Step too?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can both teleport if you need to.
I do everything Sapphire can do, but with gun.
Fucking shoot upwards to disappear.
Do we know if he has a way to detect magic or spells or anything like that? So, is that a possibility?
So far, you would know he looked particularly long at Nia, which, given the fact that you both know she's a changeling, may indicate that he registered that she was different. So it might be that he has some kind of visual knowledge of sensing magic. Aside from that, he doesn't seem to see too much. You don't know if he has anything mental in any way, shape, or form, and you know that a lot of his spellcasting comes from his staff specifically. So you're not quite sure if he probably has to activate a lot of his magic.
Was he holding that when he left?
He was. He closed the door with his staff.
Alright, okay.
Okay, I'll cast Detect Thoughts.
Okie dokie. Let me double check what that does real quick.
Detect and that door was the one door he said don't go in it.
So it says for the duration, which is 1 minute, you can read the thoughts of certain creatures. When you cast the spell and as your action on each turn until the spell ends, you can focus your mind on any one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. You can use the keyhole to do it. If the creature you choose has an intelligence of 3 or lower, or doesn't speak any language, the creature is unaffected. It also says... Okay, so yeah, when you cast the spell as action, you can search for thoughts within 30 feet of you as well. So you initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what is most on its mind in that moment. As an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature's thoughts or attempt to probe deeper into the same creature's mind. If you probe deeper, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind. If it succeeds, the spell ends. Either way, the target knows that you are probing into its mind if you do it, and unless you shift your attention to another creature's thoughts, the creature can use its action on its turn to make an intelligence check contested by yours. If it succeeds, the spell ends. So if you attempt to probe into its mind, it will know you're doing that. But if you just read the surface levels, it does not know. Does that make sense?
Yes, I'll
Okay.
start with the surface unless I hear something that's worth probing for.
Fair. So you start reading its mind. Dakota, you are walking over to the coffin?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So in your mind, just imagine Dakota is slowly walking over to the coffin as these thoughts are in your head. So you're reading the surface level thoughts, which are primarily what is most on its mind in that moment. As you listen to its thoughts, you essentially get, a lot of random thoughts in, like, it needs to feed is one that pops into your mind. I wonder which will do today. The mirror is been quite useful for this. I wonder how I will replace the mirror. I can't let it get out. And then probably another major thought that you would have that you would gain would be it needs to stay asleep. Those are kind of the major thoughts that you're gaining at the moment.
Oh gosh.
Do you decide to probe deeper, or are you holding that as is?
Okay.
Zephyr?
She said just a moment
Oh,
in the
okay.
VC chat.
No worries. So as you're walking towards the coffin, Dakota, you every time you look at it, you gain kind of a uncomfortable feeling. Are you doing anything specific with it? Are you looking through anything, any part of it? Are you...
As I approach it, do I sense anything specific about it with the Beyond?
It's a good question. Undead.
Ah, you don't say. It's in the coffin. I wonder what it is.
There was an
Okay.
undead in and or around the coffin in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I know Roderick was sitting on that coffin, so I don't know if Dakota. He's not probably not sure whether what he's sensing is what's inside the coffin or just the fact that Roderick was sitting on it.
Yeah.
So
Or both.
Or both. So he's probably approaching it, and he'd like to examine the coffin itself first, because you said there was a lot of like stuff on it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of sigils, a lot of different things. You, I don't think, know a whole lot of languages. You do not. They are not in a language you understand.
I know Elvish, and I know the faintest bit of Draconic.
As you read it, or as you attempt to read it, it's complete gibberish. Be like trying to read Celtic. There it is. You are making out none of it whatsoever. The only thing that
Yeah.
you can really see is the general universal don't touch marker, which is pretty much a skull and crossbones.
I mean, that could be the fact that it's undead.
Could be.
Could be
So,
both.
Sapphire's back, so Dakota will probably just like place his like hand like along it, like
Mhm.
trace it with his gloves. Just it's like that's sure some texture, and see if the coffin reacts somehow to that.
Fair enough. So Sapphire, did you hear everything I said about the what you heard?
Yes, I did. I'm not sure if, like, it sounds like I should probe, but I don't want to get caught.
Yeah,
It's a 100% chance he'll know,
Mhm.
no matter
Yeah.
what happens.
Oh.
It's not about being caught, it's about him knowing his mind was read.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Fuck.
All right,
We might
Are
need this
you
information.
Fuck.
lean into it, Sapphire.
All
We
right.
can
All
just
right.
teleport out of here. We're gonna be leaving the castle anyway.
So he
And
will
he is
make.
about to yell at some people.
He's gonna make a wisdom saving throw, which
He might not know it was
shockingly,
us. He might not know it was us specifically if we
Ooh.
get out fast enough.
that's under the DC. He fails.
Ah!
So-
Aha!
He fails, and I want to make this the exact same moment. So Dakota, while she's doing this, you put a hand on the coffin. Yes.
Yeah.
What are you doing? How would you like to do this?
So maybe after like a second or two
Uh-huh.
of Dakota tracing his hand along the wood of it, he just feels like he has to know. There could be secrets inside. There could be some kind of like powerful thing that Roderick might be using. He's really not sure what he's getting from Roderick. He's getting celestial, he's getting undead, he's getting fiend. He feels like there's more to this. Like Roderick could be dangerous. And some sort of clue to the mystery of it might be inside this coffin. So he's gonna slowly open the coffin.
Oh boy. All right. So this is what happens pretty much at the exact same moment in time. You grab the edge of the coffin, which, by the way, in case I didn't mention it earlier, but I'm fairly certain I did, there's a lot of blood stains on the side of the coffin, just so everyone knows.
Mention that.
No, imagine that. Shocking. So you grab the edge of the coffin, and you only really mean to slowly lift it, like maybe an inch, maybe look inside a little bit. You crack it open. And at the exact same moment that Sapphire plunges into how did I forget his name? Oh my god. Roderick. Brain shit self for a second there. The exact moment that Sapphire plunges into Roderick's mind, and she gets the single most important line in his head, the insight into his reasoning, is when the coffin opens. Sapphire hears, as she turns to look at Dakota, hearing the thing pop open, she hears, "I have to keep the vampire lord asleep." And as Dakota lifts up the fucking lid, everyone in the room hears,
Dakota, no!
"Why, hello there." And Dakota, the fucking thing pops open like a goddamn rocket, and you just see this face, this old, ancient, pale face staring at you, two massive fangs in its mouth, smiling at you. And he goes, "Why, hello there. Oh, aren't you a pretty dear? You
Hell's
look
bells and
tasty."
whiskey. Hell's bells and whiskey fire. Oh, what the?
At that exact moment, the fucking door opens, and you hear resounding, "What the fuck?" Do you teleport? Do you move? What are you guys doing here? Tell me what y'all doing. Sapphire, we'll go with you first.
Nia might kill them herself.
Dakota, we should leave.
You don't say, miss.
Well, I'm out.
Yeah, no, Dakota's running. Only instinct right now is he's face to face with a freaking vampire lord. Literally face to
Misty
face,
step.
probably considering.
Immediately.
Do you teleport through
Yeah.
the door, or do you teleport out the window?
What's closer, Cinny?
Window.
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 You both teleport out the window. I mean, it's like split seconds here of like the door opening, the vampire lord smiling at you directly in the face. Oh, Misty Step level 4. What does that do?
Oh, well, no, I didn't mean to cast that at level 4.
Oh.
It's just the only thing Warlock lets me do.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
Warlock's weird.
Yeah, no, I'm casting that.
Yeah,
regular.
it's default for Warlock. You upcast everything to max slot level.
God, I hate that
Yeah, it's
so
kind of
much.
messed up. No, I'm casting that at freaking second level. I don't think I need to get that far.
It's
Well,
not- okay.
I mean, actually, unless I don't. Can you upcast?
I don't
Misty
think you
Step?
can
Does he still talk in
normally.
chat?
Technically, speaking, you can upcast anything. It's just only certain spells get bonuses when you do
I
that.
can't tell because we haven't.
Yeah. So you teleport, you both just spend your spell slots and fucking yeet yourself. Now, if you had gone through the door, would have been a little bit further of distance, but you would obviously be outside the door. You guys launch yourselves out the window. Now you could pretty much flatten yourselves against the window, but it would be nothing if somebody actually checked the window. So I'm assuming you guys took the arguably smarter choice and flung yourselves off the side of the cliff, off the side of the castle.
Just launching.
Can they Misty Step
Yeah.
again in midair?
What was that?
Can they Misty Step again in midair to like go to the ground?
That is a good question. I don't think I've ever seen Misty Step used that way before. You teleport up to 30 feet to unoccupied space. You can indeed. If you'd like to use the spell slots, you can in fact. You pretty much are yeeting yourself out the window, and you can teleport straight down to the ground if you'd like to.
Just max 30 feet again. Just going for it. Far as I can go. I don't care how hard I hit the ground. I'll
Same.
fix it.
Oh goodness gracious.
All right, cool.
I
So
have no wounds.
so the split second that it takes for that door to open, and you guys see this as you teleport because it's multiple teleports, there's a body that flies through the air. Both you roll me
body's in it?
perception.
Whose body?
Not yours.
I sure hope so.
Don't need to worry about Roderick anymore.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes
Got
Yeah,
a
sense.
fucking bigger problem.
But that was both of us, right?
No, if I
Yeah,
am
both
here,
you roll
he-
perception. Oh my god. I want that nat 20 so bad. I think this is legitimately, it's because I haven't had I haven't had Cyril roll today.
10.
So you get the barest glimpse of this body. You cannot tell if it's alive or dead. Neither of you can, especially in the time that you fly through the air.
Oda's preoccupied. He doesn't.
Yeah, but it's just a body. You can't even tell what gender or what race is. You're just not focused as it flies through the air, and you yeet yourselves out the window. You basically misty through the air into the open air 40 plus feet above the ground. Misty step immediately downwards, and you hit the ground as if you just fell 20 feet, which is very painful. That would be how much damage is that? I don't quite recall. I think
felt worse.
it's
He's fine.
3d6, I think. Hold on. Pretty sure falling, yeah. Yeah, 3d6 damage for the both of you, which is going to be
Give me the good stuff.
only 8 damage. Not that bad.
Wow. Yeah, that's all right.
Now, if you guys had fallen 40 feet, that would have been 10d6 damage.
Oh God, I could have died immediately.
It's a lot of damage. So it's a very good thing you guys Misty stepped. But you guys Misty step outwards as the vampire lord, as essentially the body flies, and as you teleport into midair, you vaguely hear the body kind of bouncing into the coffin before you teleport downwards again. You guys have no idea what the fuck just happened up there. And yeah, I think that's where we're probably going to end it. Well, actually, we have an ad being run here soon, so I won't end it till all that stuff is over. But yeah, so you guys pop out of there. Let's see. I think everyone's back in the room at this point, aside from them.
I mean, I can say for certain Gelmar is.
Yeah, Nia is.
Pretty much.
Okay. Rue, yeah, you would have gone home as well. So, Rue, you would have walked past the throne room, probably around when this would have happened. So, you are stepping past the throne room doors, and you hear A, a door swinging open, B, the loud shout of "what the fuck," C, which all of you guys hear, by the way. You all hear the vampire lord saying, "Why, hello there." And D, you hear weird mist sounds. That one's not as vibrant though. But all of you guys hear the "why, hello there" in either in your heads or resounding through the area. You can't tell.
Well, Cyril's awake now.
Wait, does that include Nia and Gelmar?
Yeah, all of you.
And Nia's like, what do they fucking do? And she like gets up and starts to go to the door of the room.
I was hoping I might actually get some sleep tonight. He just as grabbing his great axe and just slow, not even bothering to strap it on his back, just pushing open the door and just starts going.
You open the door, you just see Rue standing there reaching for the door.
Nea'll be like, don't open that.
Cyril is absolutely on the sending stone, trying to contact either Dakota or Sapphire. Where are you? What happened?
Either one is able to respond.
Dakota responds, is like, "I hecked up, sir. Sorry about that."
I hecked up. Adia, you can tell from Cyril. You can tell from Cyril's expression of little he has. Oh boy.
So Ania's gonna like try to get Rue not to open. How are we able to see the throne room door from where our room is?
Rue was trying to open the door to your room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
she was at the throne room. Okay, so ignore what Ania said before, and Ania's like already opening the door, but she's not going to leave the premises of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just going to keep an eye out.
Rue, how do you feel hearing all of this and then seeing just Cyril or the Gelmar just open up the door staring at you?
Well, somebody really nicely said hello, but now I'm not sure.
I awake for too long to deal with telepaths.
She kind of whispers out like a little sheepish hello.
Hello, are you there?
That's about it.
I'm afraid Dakota has done something awful.
And Nia uses shillelagh for in preparation of Dakota arriving.
All right. So Dakota and Sapphire, you've hit the ground, which did a decent amount of damage. Pretty much just bruises of hitting the ground at fucking extreme speeds. But you guys are more or less fine. Dakota, I'm fairly certain you can feel the I don't know if it's disappointment, concern, or rage in Cyril's voice when he asks what the fuck you did. But you could feel it. What are you two doing?
So is Dakota just like running towards them?
You hit the ground. You guys get to choose what you want to do. So you're outside and you've hit the ground.
Dakota's gonna try to find his group. He doesn't know if anything's like full on chasing them. But he knows he just gotta keep running.
Fair. What'd you say, Sapphire?
I'm running to the room.
All right, cool. The both of you fucking sprint fast as your legs can possibly take you, which, Sapphire, you're just in better condition than Dakota is. You would get there at least a couple seconds faster than he does, especially going up the stairs. Full sprinting upstairs is hell. But you guys run up those stairs like the devil himself is biting your ass cheeks. And you eventually get up the stairs, and you just see probably Ania looking out the door, like at the hallway, and she just locks eyes with Dakota.
Ania preemptively raises her staff and it like is aiming it up to hit Dakota as soon as he's within range.
Ow.
She's gonna give her the grandma slaps with the sandals.
Oh no, it's worse. That's a shillelagh. That's 1d8 plus 4 her damage.
So it's up to Dakota if he stays out of range or not. Or tries to say something before he's in range.
I think he just like sees the people and he kind of like slows down. He looks behind him, glances back. I think I just released a vampire lord.
You fucking.
I had to know what was in the coffin.
You opened the coffin.
I thought the undead signal was just him sitting on it.
Ania is now approaching Dakota.
Look. It's not my fault that Roderick has dead bodies in his closet.
It is your fault that you went to open the one thing he said us not to do when he gave us full reign of the whole fucking castle.
I didn't think there was an actual creature inside of it.
It moved when he sat on it.
Well, items can sometimes move too.
I don't know about that.
I would like to hit him.
Feel free.
Non-lethal.
Ania.
I would like to violence. I would like to violence.
I would like to violence.
Dakota will take that, yeah.
One punch. I want to see you get max damage.
Please roll for 1d8 violence.
1d8 violence. So attack.
Oh my god. Well, not the worst damage, but
that
you
cleared
feel
me.
it.
Ow.
You feel a lot of it.
Ow.
You are very injured.
That's fine.
I literally told you not that was a bad idea, but you did it anyway.
I had to know.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You would not have died if you didn't know. I'm the nosiest person here, and I know not. I wouldn't have done that.
Do needed to know if Roger was planning to kill us or something.
He is pissed off and walks back into the room to fume while the others talk to Dakota.
Dakota huffs, but he understands.
The rest of you guys deal with this.
So Dakota like looks to the side and he just mutters, "Maybe I can kill it."
Gilmar's just like still standing in the doorway with his axe out. Get in.
Get it?
Maybe they'll be able to stuff the Lord back into the coffin.
I mean, that I'm sure the knight probably wouldn't approve of vampire and Lord, so I mean, maybe it was already going to be an assignment. Maybe I'm just doing it ahead of schedule. I'm
I
sure
mean,
the gun
what
could
if
handle
they-
something like that. He's just
Yeah.
muttering to himself.
I mean, what if they could have gotten out to the coffin all along?
But yeah, I mean, with all those dead bodies, maybe it was going to come out anyway.
Oh, maybe they're a real big bad guy and we're killing people.
I like the way you think, miss.
Mm-hmm.
You're making excuses to make yourselves not the stupid ones here.
And he is
It's
sulking in the corner.
something I'm very skilled at, miss.
Cyril
Yep.
Cyril goes over to Ania and holds out a hand. I need your sending stone. I used mine up contacting Dakota.
And Nia gives him the sending stone.
I'm sorry, sir.
No, you're
Hmm.
not.
Be sorry later. And as pissed off as the person he's about to contact is going to be,
Oh.
Roderick,
Oh.
Oh.
You
Mhm.
need help.
Roderick, what's your situation? Can we back you up?
Ooh. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like
Turn yourselves
that.
in. Turn
Ooh, I
yourselves
like
in.
that. Okay, okay.
He's going to put the sending stone down so that Roderick doesn't hear the rest of what he says, and he rounds on Dakota. We are going to fix your mistake.
I know, sir. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I like that. Okay. So, as you send that message, you hear basically red alert going on, the equivalent red alert. It's a giant magic spell that affects pretty much everyone in the entire castle. That pretty much says, get your fucking ass up and get moving, kind of a thing. Probably used for great emergencies in case of raids or something else like that. And you hear a flood of people running up the fucking stairs. And you hear in your head, Cyril, dealing with vampire. Don't die. Come into the throne room if you want, or fuck off.
Fair, honestly.
That's the nicest he could have been.
Right. We go into the throne room and we take care of this. And we hope that he didn't get a good look at who opened the fucking box.
Yes, sir.
All right, with that, we're going to end.
And
I was
you.
gonna add.
Huh?
I was gonna add or read his mind.
Oh no!
Does he know who, or just that someone did?
Someone did.
Okay.
But yeah,
Oh,
Sapphire
right.
mentions that.
Oh, she says it aloud.
Yeah.
You read his mind over in the corner.
Rouge just like pats Dakota's shoulder for a little
He
bit.
had
She's like, out of
bodies.
sympathy.
I had to read his mind.
No, you didn't. It was your choice. It was a stupid choice. You're supposed to be smarter than Dakota.
Hey.
You're dumb.
No offense, but I expect this behavior out of Ania. Not you.
I'm smart when I'm nosy.
However, we prepare. We go to battle.
Yes,
I
sir.
think the time for prep has already long since passed. He says, flipping the axe over his shoulder.
Do I remember anything? Do I remember anything about vampire lords?
They
Should
are.
we save that for next time?
We will, yeah. You would mostly know they are strong as fuck. They are really hard to fucking kill. And they pretty much eat adventurers for breakfast if they truly want to. But they're usually quite mischievous, and they enjoy the hunt more than they enjoy the actual kill. And more important than anything else, they have fun with whatever it is that they do. They're so old, they don't give a shit about the world. They just want to enjoy whatever the fuck is that they're going to be doing. So,
Cindy, have I killed a vampire?
Huh?
Cindy, have I killed a vampire?
no.
For the night?
Normal
Curses. Well, not a
vampires are
vampire
hard to
lord.
kill. This is like the king of vampires kind of a situation.
I figured I haven't killed a lord, but I just wanted to know if I had any experience with this sort of undead.
You would have maybe some experience with the lowest possible form, the undead thralls. And even those gave you some trouble back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll get to the rest of it as time goes on. I don't know if anyone I follow is on at the moment. Anyone I care about? Not particularly. So we're going to just kind of end the stream for today, but hopefully you guys all enjoyed. We're going to see you guys all back here next week, Friday at 6 p.m. PST as we find out what the fuck these people do against a vampire goddamn lord and person who possibly, but probably not, does not maybe know that they opened his very secretive coffin or looked into his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. See if you guys can convince him not to kill you if he knows, which he might not.
Yeah,
All right.
let's go fight this old guy with fangs.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful
Yeah.
night, ladies and gentlemen. Always appreciate seeing you guys here. And if you guys want to check out the rest of our content, feel free to do so. We're going to be taking a break on the 1st of January all the way to the end of January as I get a lot of stuff in order and set up and whatnot. So Tuesday is going to be our last day of streaming, and it's going to be a hopefully very, very fun time. So we'll see all of you fine folks next time. We're gonna take a break in January aside from D&D. I should make that clear. We're still continuing D&D because I'm a fucking addict. So we'll see you guys back here next week, January 3rd. All right, bye.
Next year.
Next
Yeah.
year.
Bye.